Early boy. Yeah, I'm here early. I'm here early. Hello, how are we? We are 13 minutes away. Who's excited to see Tristan Tate do really well? Oh. The Cowboy Bond music, yeah, this. Oh man. So, you know, Chad Alpha, you know? So Alpha Chad. What's this? Here we got. I just want to say thank you to Julian, who became a patron today. Oh goodness, let me take that off vibrate. How do people think this is gonna go? Wait, why is V-Gan gays chatting? What? What? What do you mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Chatting what? What? Eh? I don't know what that means. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Tristan Tate is awful. How are we? How are we? I wonder what carnist... Wait. Chris... Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness, there's a bingo card. Oh. Hang on. Chris. That is genius. Oh my god. This is based. Okay. It's a bingo card. Oh. Oh, you're coming to the vegan campout based. Okay. 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 I'm sorry, I thought you were chatting in Joey's stream. I got really confused. Oh. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a bit confusing, isn't it? Obviously, Joey Carbstrong is live streaming this. I'm going to live stream it as well. It's fucking Tristan Tate, you know? A prime, awful, but famous human. There is a bingo card. There is a bingo card. You know what I'm going to do? Okay. I'm going to have a display capture in the corner. We're going to make this smaller, alright? I don't need this. Okay. You know I need the beans. This is an event, huh? This is an event. So, I want to... Studio mode. Okay. I want... Display capture. You're not going to see this for a whole second, okay? You're not going to see it for a whole second. But I will sort it. Where is this display capture? Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to make it look juicy. Why is it? Oh, okay. Hold up. Hold up. You can't see what I'm doing here. You can't see. But I'm sorting it. I am sourcing it. The fact he's done this is too funny. Oh my god. Chris is a legend. You can just guarantee. Okay. Nearly done it. Nearly done it. He's definitely going to use a couple of these. Oh, he's probably going to use all of them, actually. He's probably going to use all of them. And we're going to have to, like, bring it. We're going to have to bring it. Okay. So what we're going to do when it comes to it. Okay. Nearly done. Nearly done with it. Okay. There we go. We got it here. So we're ready. Ready when we need it. The bingo card. Okay. Can you get Justin or anyone else in for the party? I haven't asked anyone, so I haven't mentally prepared to actually speak to a human, so I'll say no. And everyone's just clicking on me. I think everyone has control over this. Chris put it in the chat. That's too funny. I'm going to tell Chris. Because I don't think he's in my chat. Got the bingo card on stream. Lol, you legend. Okay. All right, we'll have that. We'll have that ready. We'll have that ready when need be. In fact, right, put in the chat right now. Which one do you think? Okay. So you got avocados, almonds, food chain, taste, masculinity, apex predator, tradition, 84% quit, humans are superior, plants feel pain, canines, bees, B12, tribe, circle of life, no moral value, too expensive, natural protein, desert island, halal, kills babies thousands of years, line. Okay. I'm gonna make a little cheeky, cute square of this. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Holy. I'm actually nervous. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, these guys have a lot of influence. Oh my goodness. Notorious Tam Patton has been a member for 19 months. Thank you so much. This is going to be rough. Buckle up. Yep, I've got my strap on. Pardon? You heard. Almonds. Food chain. Taste. Mask. Have this ready, okay? I'll put the link in the chat, okay? You can see it. Courtesy of Chris Hines. Catherine Klein and V-Gan Gaze in the house stands out. Let's. Wait, did Chris reply? Did I miss his reply or did not reply?
Most cult members don't realize they're part of a
Why are they V-Gan Gaze? Because what? Bye, Flo. Yeah, we're gonna have the bingo card ready, okay? But yeah, Sal's in the chat for Notorious Tam Patton. Thank you so much. We got 5 minutes. We'll see, hey? I'm so ready to be converted back to Cardiff by Special Agent Tate Bond. Tradition. 84%. Superior. Plants. Pain. Canines. That's a classic. Circle of Life. Circle of Life. Why's my pen running out? Oh my god. B12 deficiency. In my pen. It just never ends. Why would we even try to do this? Desert Island. Halal. Oh yeah, because they're Muslim, aren't they? Kills babies. Classic. Thousands years. Lions. That's a classic. That's got to be done, really. No moral value. Okay, no moral value. Classic. Too expensive. In their mansions, spending all of their time showing people how rich they are. I mean, if that's deployed. I think he's deployed that in the past. This isn't the first time. This is not the first time he's done it. Canines. Bees. Bees. B12. This is free. B12. Tribes. PP. Oh, PP. You should have said earlier. I would have been more prepared. I haven't got everything set up with my Zoom, and it was fucking about last time I tried to use it. Why don't you stream it? Why don't you stream it as well? And then I try it afterwards. Like, we do a little review together. Why don't we do that? That would be funny. Just like a fucking wad of people streaming it. You want to come on afterwards? That might work, because it's like 2 minutes. You want to do that, love? Let me know. Because I can make it a long boy then, if you come on. It'd be funny as fuck to get your opinion. Hello, we got the bingo card. I can't wait. So excited. I've got it written down, Chris. You're going to have to help me call bingo, alright? You're going to have to. I've got to look up for PP's reply. PP! Will you be able to come on afterwards? Let me know. Tag PP. Okay, he might have left. He might have left. I do that. I ask people a question and I leave. I'm midway. It's very annoying. Okay, when other people do it. When I do it, it's fine, okay? Oh, tag. Okay. Wanna on. And review. I'll put I'll put stop it! Oh my god. I'll email him. Not email. Message. DM. Sorry, I've been working all day. I have not had a break at all. Not yet. I've made a sandwich and a salad. Haven't had time to eat them. I've half-eaten the sandwich and I'm feeling a bit... But it's okay. My veganism will get me through. And I can come on yours if you're also streaming. Base. Is this where the lads are? They are, right. Let's get rid of the bingo card for now. Okay, hopefully Chris is going to be in the chat, keeping track. Okay, 4 seconds. We'll see. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you have to tell me if the
thank you for
levels
joining
are
me for
okay.
another cigar night with me, Tristan, the Talisman Tate. Now, you all know how these work. I sit down, I smoke a cigar, I listen to your questions, I go through questions that I've been asked earlier on Twitter and on other platforms, and I do my best to give some knowledge and some insight into what it is that you are asking me. But today is a slightly different episode because as I smoke this cigar, which I'm going to go into in a moment, I've decided to have a special guest on. Our guest is a man who goes by the name of Joey Carbstrong. He is a vegan activist, I would say, and a vegan himself. It came up on Twitter a while ago. I mentioned the fact that I follow people that I disagree with. I follow vegans, white supremacists, black supremacists, all sorts of racist accounts, and everyone was
So does
reprimanding me,
Andrew,
saying you
and where's
can't endorse
Andrew?
these people. And I said, no. I follow
Where is
people who I
Andrew?
have disagreements with because it makes Twitter more interesting. And somebody said, why don't you debate Joey Carbstrong on veganism? Now, my first reaction was, why would I debate on veganism? I didn't understand why anyone wanted to see me debate on veganism because I'm not really that interested in the topic,
Well,
to be
you
perfectly
pay
honest.
for animals to
I
be
myself
killed.
am not a vegan, but I don't really care who is, so I didn't see the need for a debate, and
Animals
I voiced that
scare, though,
concern on
probably,
Twitter.
whether or not they're being killed or
And
not.
Joey, for all those watching on Rumble,
Twitter.
10,000 of you now, I want to
Twitter.
let you know, has been very
Bugatti.
polite and very respectful, but his fans were not. His fans obviously attacked me on Twitter, as is the nature of the internet. Believe me, my skin's thick enough to put up with it by now. And said, oh, you're scared to debate him on veganism. You're scared to debate him on veganism.
Andrew is.
And I thought, you know what? One, I'm not scared of talking to anybody about any topic.
Good. Andrew
and
is.
Two, this Joey guy is so respectful and you know, normal, seemingly. Let's have him on the podcast and let's see what he thinks or what he wants me to think
Joey
or what he wants everyone in the world who eats meat to think. So you never know. At the end of this podcast, I may declare myself a vegan. I don't know. I've done no debate preparation because veganism isn't something that I study or prepare for.
Ooh.
To very quickly introduce my cigar, this is a Hoyo de Monterrey Double Corona. It's about as large as Cuban cigars get. So I've gone with a very big Cuban cigar tonight because I don't feel this conversation is going to be over with very quickly. And I'm going to put on my headphones in just a second. And I know you're listening, Joey, so I'm going to, when you appear on screen, give you a chance to introduce yourself to everybody, I guess, in my audience who may or may not know who you are.
Hello. Thank you very much, mate. It's a great introduction. And like Tristan said, like this is going to be a civil discussion. I know we're framing, like you might have seen my YouTube thumbnail, framing it as a little bit of a debate or whatever.
Ooh, lag. Please don't do that. That would be gutting if the conversation doesn't happen because of technical issues.
So you're a man of your word, as you said,
Indeed.
in your inbox, you're a man of your word. You didn't forget. And you even reached out to me. It was like been like a couple
Please
months
don't do that.
or like at least
B12 deficient.
4 weeks since we last chatted.
Something like that.
B12 deficient technology.
Kudos to you, mate. And yeah, like I know people were calling you scared and this and that. Oh, you're too scared to, but
I need a
that's
cigar.
not what
Damn.
I saw from you anyway. So
Pray to the vegan gods.
I will just quickly introduce myself if that's cool with you, Tristan.
Please, go right ahead.
Is it freezing on your end, Swoot? It's not on his end, so it should be right.
I hear you nice and smooth.
That's great. Yeah, so basically, my social media handle is Joey Carbstrong, but I changed my name from Armstrong to Carbstrong after I left gangs. I come out of prison. Spent about 6 months in prison for firearms. I was on the streets from 14 onwards, and got involved in drugs, gangs. Then we got into high-level organised crime, outlaw motorcycle gangs in Australia. And
this is why
myself in prison. I was on house arrest for
different types of vegans
months,
is important because this sort of like
13
story
months.
is going to appeal to.
And got out on parole.
You know,
Part
Tristan.
of my parole was not drinking, taking drugs because I didn't want to go back to jail. And I was in solitary. I spent 5 days in solitary, and I know you've been in prison too, so you know what it's like. It's not a fun place. I definitely didn't want to go back. That's for sure. So I got sober. Part of my sobriety was like thinking I don't want to be violent anymore. Where am I violent in my life? And I had this seed planted about karma and hypocrisy. Like I just seen people that were like, save the whales,
Rumble
save the
chat
dolphins.
is a mess, I bet.
They were against palm oil because it kills chimpanzees, but they were eating like a cow.
Orangutans.
And I was like, you're a hypocrite. At least I can admit it. I'm eating steak right now. And
yeah, Joey's
I can
the right
see
person for this
hypocrisy.
audience.
And that's what, like when I got sober and aligned got my head clear, and I started changing my trajectory in my life, I aligned my actions with my morals and went vegan.
Person for their audience.
I've always been outspoken, and I've been an outspoken activist ever since. So I'm not your typical kind of
not married,
faced,
no babies,
stereotypical vegan like people like to, say. I'm actually a bit different to what people perceive as vegans. I don't know how people perceive vegans. Vegans are from all different.
They perceive them like me.
And they're just different. Everyone is different. I've met as a vegan. They're all different.
Queer.
So I'm an activist. I've been online. I've been on different TV shows talking about this. I've got about just over, I think, over 2 200 to 300
Yeah.
views talking about this topic across my social media platform. 200 to 300 million views. Sorry, not 200 to 300.
Yeah, of course.
Million views talking about this topic. That would be pretty. That would be a failure. But yeah, so yeah, pretty well known on Facebook and things like that. But a lot of people don't like me. But yeah, we'll see how this conversation goes. So that's who I am, and yeah.
All right. Well, my first question to you would be, why me? I mean, I know you didn't put your fans up to this, like tweeting underneath my post, etc. But
You're
why am
massively
I the
known.
type of person who you thought it would be beneficial to have a veganism
need
debate
more
on? Because I truly
dudes.
don't care. As of right now, I don't
Just
care
start crying
1%
about
about
it.
any of the
Crying about
issues
soy.
vegans bring up. So
Yeah.
why me?
And you pay for it.
Well, I've seen your post come up on Twitter, and this isn't the first. So basically, you said that. You said the number one sign of intelligence in 2023 is the ability to disagree on issues and stay civil. I'll
Yes.
follow men I disagree with on Twitter. I'll sit down and talk to him like I like opposing points of view. And I
Yeah.
said, come on my YouTube channel and debate veganism. And you said there doesn't need to be debating. Eat what you want. I'll do the same, right?
Well, I don't have an opposing point of view, is my point. I'm happy for you to be a vegan.
No, you do have an opposing point of view by proxy of you engaging in the behavior. There is a complete opposing point of view. You pay for it to happen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but the reason that I thought of you, because it's not the first time I encountered you, actually. You're all over social media and you're
Yeah, I know,
mega famous.
unfortunately.
And it's not the first time talking about veganism either. So like I responded to a couple of live streams that you and Andrew did. And I know Andrew's, he's not here, so we're not here to talk about Andrew's views, we're talking to you. But you know, you did chime in on a couple of times when Andrew was talking about his problems with veganism.
You have made
vegetarians, people that don't eat
claims.
meat and how he doesn't
We've made a video on
respect
it
them
on
and
this
things like that.
channel.
But then you were talking about the problem with veganism and talking about how vegans not only kill more animals, they are also shouldn't expect everyone in the world to be vegan, and you talked about them aside. That
I will catch up. The pausing,
stream?
I will catch
Yes.
up, okay?
that might have
Don't
been
worry,
just a
no
small talking
crying.
point for you, but obviously in the vegan movement, we all
Crying in the
I
chat.
see. It was a very small talking point to me, and
That wasn't
obviously
two
on my
times.
last live stream, if
You're too
anyone saw,
slow.
I was making a bunch of jokes about Irish people, and my Irish friend was sitting here with me. So it's not something exclusive that I do to pick on the vegan community. I like to have a good laugh at everybody. I think that's how we, stay
me
friendly. I make jokes about all the things I am, certainly. So if the vegan community, obviously watched that and took that personal, then good, because I guess now here you are speaking to me. But what's the debate that we could possibly have? I see a discussion, but what's the debate?
Well, it depends. It depends on what you think about this topic, because we can get straight into it if you want. Like I thought we might. I mean, there's plenty to debate here, because you obviously think it's like, judging by the way that you live your life, like it's completely morally justifiable to have animals endure a slaughterhouse so
Yes,
that
I
you can
do.
eat their body. Like so
I do.
if you believe that, then I don't believe that. I believe it's not justifiable. I
Okay.
don't think we have any
There's a poll
reason,
for
morally
you.
justifiable reason, coherent moral reason to do this to these non-human animals.
Okay.
And you believe it's totally fine and you don't care.
Absolutely.
So I think that is a point to debate.
Do you hold any religious beliefs before we start? That'd be interesting. Or are you an atheist?
No, I
You
don't.
hold any-
I would be. I don't claim to know everything about the universe. I'm more agnostic. I don't know, but I do lean towards. It's a very bizarre world we live in, and it's very hard for me to come to terms with it being a cosmic accident. But at the same time, I've had some spiritual awakenings in my life through my hard journey and violence and pulling myself out of addiction and things like that. And I've sometimes felt like someone was watching over me.
Hopefully we don't
But
get
to
stuck
say
on
that
this.
I'm practicing.
I don't think Joey will let that happen.
Practicing some
Anything.
kind of religion. I don't think so. No.
Understand, because I feel like a lot of the hard lines that people are scared of debating these days. I mean, there's lots of different debates on LGBTQ rights in the community, etc. And people who are, for example, Muslims will have their hard lines on it and say, well, my religious belief is this. You shouldn't be questioning my religious belief. I myself am an Orthodox Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the word of the Bible. And the Bible makes it very, very clear that man has dominion over animals. It tells us
I
which
thought you
animals we
converted
can
to
and which animals
Islam.
we can't eat. And I don't
My bad.
understand how any man could argue with a Christian about that. If I say God's word is final, where would you
You don't want to use
come in and
that.
oppose me?
So you eat meat because God told you it's okay? Is that?
No,
You've never said that before. That's
No,
all.
I love meat. I absolutely love meat, and I don't feel any duty towards the animals that are killed for my meat,
Oh,
just like
I
any other
did.
predator in the world doesn't. I don't believe when a shark eats a seal or eats a human that a shark has
That's
done anything
bingo.
morally wrong. I don't believe the shark needs to be reprimanded. I don't believe
swear.
the shark is evil. So like any meat-eating creature on Earth, I don't feel
That's basically
sad
lions.
for the prey that I consume.
Okay.
And I don't know why I
So you-
should.
Well, I mean, we can unpack that for sure. I mean, first of all, God says it's okay is one like it was written in the Bible
God.
basically, or written in the Word of God that God gave permission to eat certain animals and not others.
Well, that is in the Bible. I'm just saying, how would you counter that argument? Because people don't like to go against people's religious hardlines. And this isn't a religious hardline for me.
I just want to know what you believe, but I want to know what you believe.
That counts as halal.
There's a lot of people with different beliefs out there, but I want to know because I'm really interested in because I've been following you, I've been watching, and maybe I don't know if you've been watching anything that I talk about or whatever, but I've been watching a little bit about you do care. You do care.
I saw you on Piers Morgan.
You do care. Yeah, Piers Morgan pretends like he doesn't care. Like he cares. He thinks he cares about bees and all that sort of shit. He doesn't. He just
no one cares about bees. I mean, no one cares.
Oh, is anyone else getting the buffer? Or is it
about bees?
Is that just me? It shouldn't be me.
Is it still coming through?
Oh,
it's working. I'm seeing no delays here, and we're good on my Rumble stream.
I lost you after bees. I lost you after bees.
Yeah, I don't care about bees, and I'm not going to pretend that I do care about bees because that would be a bit stupid if I sat here and said, "Oh, I care so much about bees. How can you eat this food that kills bees, etc." I don't care about bees, but I don't care about the other animals I eat either.
Okay, so because
but you said I do. You said I do care.
I said you do care about many other issues. That's what I said. You do care about many other issues.
Indeed,
and you care about human beings, and you care about other animals. And so you're not just a heartless person who lacks empathy and doesn't give a shit about anything. Because I used to be around people like that. I used to be around true, cold psychopaths, like in the gang world, and that they did not care about anything. There was a couple of them, and you just knew by the way, don't care.
Yes.
You've probably been around them too.
Well,
you don't seem like that type of person.
No, and I care very deeply about humanity and other people, but I don't think that extends to the animal kingdom.
You do? Well, I don't know why you would give a bunch of money to a dog charity if you didn't care about non-human animals.
I love dogs, but if you wanted to eat your dog, I would not have a problem with you eating your dog.
Right.
Would you have a problem with me eating a dog from the charity?
Well, that would be my dog. And I'd have a problem with you coming into my garden and eating from my apple tree, even though they're just apples. They're my apples. Right? That tree's in my garden. Right. So when people say, "Oh, would you have a problem with me eating your dog?" Yes, I'd have a problem with you eating my dog. But there are lots of people all over the world that eat dogs all the time. I'm not going to tell them not to, and I don't care what they do with their dogs.
This is a funny talking point because we will get to the predator point, like comparing yourself to a predator in nature as well. But I just want to talk about this dog point because you had an interesting back and forth with Elwood's dog meat on our Twitter. Should we talk about that?
Oh, Jesus. Well. Yeah. So I'll actually cover this for 5 seconds first.
It'd be so funny if everyone goes over from Rumble to Elwood's Organic Dog Meat because the last post that's going to be on their Instagram and Twitter is the one that I did.
Someone sent me a link to a fake website that allegedly sells dog meat. It has a bunch of pictures of cute dogs next to what is clearly steak and sausages. And they're saying, "We sell this dog meat." And someone sent me this as a joke to troll me. And I sent them a message saying, "Hi, do you ship internationally? I'm interested in buying some dog meat to Romania." And I posted a screenshot on the Twitter argument. It was a joke, as in, if someone's selling dog meat, I don't care what.
Yeah, not just are they going to get raided, I'm going to get raided. Fuck.
But Elwood's Dog Meat, and I kind of wish I hadn't given them the shout out because they sold the story to the newspaper that I genuinely thought they were a dog meat farm, and I stupidly was trying to buy dog meat because I'm evil. And the newspapers, obviously, which print anything bad about me, printed it. And I was like, for God's sake, I wish I didn't contact those people because it was a joke. I wasn't actually trying to buy dog meat from them. It's not my meat of choice.
What would be the problem with that, though? Because you said you don't have a problem with people eating animals. So
no, I don't have a problem. That people do eat dogs. I don't try to shut the farms down. There are dog meat festivals in China. Okay. I'm not going to go to China until the Chinese.
What is their Wi-Fi? It's not me. Just going to respond to the... I do that crap for the meme. Not even paid, bah. Hell yeah. It's not lagging on Joey's channel. My Wi-Fi apparently is great. I'll try restarting.
Eating animals. So
no, I don't have a problem. That people do eat dogs. I don't try to shut the farms down.
Right, we're back here.
There are dog meat festivals in
people
China.
saying it's buffering.
Okay. I'm not going to go to China until the Chinese.
Yeah, it's lagging. Please don't. Something went wrong. We're taking a look. Shit. No. Oh wait, what is this? What did they say? Let's take an Elwood's a whole new level for me. Oh yeah. No, come on. Thank you, sir. I love dog meat. I really do. It's so tasty. Come on, bro. Don't do me like this. Don't do me. What's this all about? Is this the case on... Yeah, look, the Matrix is... Oh, for fuck's sake. The Matrix is attacking the stream. What the fuck? These guys. These guys. Was that on the grid? Let's see. Was that on the grid? What we got? You're saying moral relativism. I can't see it. I can't see it. I guess it would be under no moral value in some context, right? Damn it. I reckon Tate pulled the plug because he can't be asked. Yeah, instead it was the Matrix. Oh, damn. He said taste too, did he? Did he say taste? Oh yeah, like, I like the taste of meat, you know? I eat McDonald's in my Bugatti. Yeah. In my Bugatti. With all my women. No! No! Come on, bro. Give me the thickness. Can you keep up? Baby boy. Lose my breath. Baby boy. Bruh. Come back to me. Return to me. For my darling, I am so sorry. Hurry back, hurry home, hurry back, hurry home to my arm. Yeah, Keanu Reeves has taken down the stream. Veganism is too thick and people aren't ready to take the actual red pill as opposed to the cringe red pill. Is it still? No, on Tristan's end it is not. It's saying his is even more cringe. Well, this one's not cringe, actually. I rephrase. His one's cringe. Because it says... Oh, wait. It's changed. It said the Matrix is taken down. What are people saying? L Matrix agents. Bruh. More than 27,000 watching on Rumble. Bro. Oh my god. Look at the meat people coming in. Oh my god. We love meat. Yummy dog meat. Check out Elwood's organic dog meat. Based meat. From dogs. Let's go. I do this shit for free, okay? I love dog meat. Please come back. Please. Didn't even get to num trait. The bad thing about traits is when you don't even get to name them, you know? Please. Something can't go wrong, okay? We need them 27,000 people on Rumble to just... Upset. Let me just see if it's the same score. I've never been on Rumble. Look. The Matrix is attacking the stream. What are these people? Okay. Let me just check on Rumble. I've never been on it. I'm scared. Yeah, it's Okay, that was a horrifying experience. My 2 seconds on Rumble, didn't like it. How do I choose whether to watch Gaze or Nick? If you have to choose, have Nick, okay? If you have to choose, Okay, for stuck. Well, they say if you have to choose neither or both. that's how you know. If you really are stuck, neither are the right ones for you. Joey blew his only chance. I don't think it's Joey's fault. Damn. Someone just dropped a 50 on Joey. It's a shame. It's not while he's talking. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, someone dropped a quid on me. Let's go.
Lucas Fajardo the lat tipped £1.
I've got a Fajardo.
I haven't watched a single second yet, just showed up. Did Tate make himself look like an inconsistent sociopath so far?
Well, so far he said I don't give a shit whether or not you eat dogs. You know, you could eat a dog as long as it's not his dog. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he doesn't give a shit about being... He's doing the whole, I don't care, though. I don't care, because I'm just like... You know, like, I'm a man. I don't give a fuck, yeah? Like, I just don't fucking care. Like, good one. That's really, like, that's hard. You're hard. Mark Joey made a tweet with himself? How's that? What do you mean? How? Like... Right, listen here, right? Your hater boners are, like, painful. Okay? Tristan Tate, the pinnacle of a person I don't like. Okay? He is, like, currently still being charged with some heinous crimes, which I'm pretty sure he's probably done. Okay? Horrible. Okay? But at least I can say he sat there and went, you know what? He's been polite to me. I'm, you know, people are saying I'm scared and I want to do opposing viewpoints, so I'll come and do it. Okay? He's like literally like awful. If he wasn't so massive, I wouldn't even bother. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, at least I can say, okay, yeah, well, he's awful, but at least he was fair there. And then you people come in like, oh, because I hate vegans. Everything they do is an L. It's just cringe. Like, grow up. It's all right, honey. You're all right. It'll be fine, yeah? I knew they were too cowardly, though. Well, so far, Andrew's looking pretty cowardly. Like, pretty sure he was the one who stirred the pot. And Tristan has made comments. Tech issues are on Tristan's end. Debate is resuming shortly. Okay, that's according to LVL. Thanks, man. Yeah, so far... Oh, thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you for the shout-out. Okay. Tristan. It's Tristan. So, yeah, apparently they'll be coming back. I'm going to keep refreshing because it then, like, weirdly buffers. And sometimes it buffers because of me. And sometimes... While Joey's opposite of my... Yeah, Garuda, like, again, I just can't trust the words that you say because you've debated me twice and both times you have been unable to actually give a coherent argument against the vegan position. You want to say it's not masculine? What's not masculine? I could say it's beta cuck shit to go out and pay some other dude to stab an animal for you, to stab a defenseless animal and have them do all the, like, gutting and all the bits that you don't want to do. Like, I could say that. Like, that's beta as fuck. If I wanted to, I could frame it that way. Is it not masculine to protect others, especially those who can't defend themselves? More masculine, I think. Yeah, Garu's supposed to be coming on debating again. Apparently, man wants a round 3. Yeah, that's beta as fuck. Yeah, it's beta as fuck to be like, oh, I'm scared of tofu. I'm scared of tofu. Oh, it might give me titties. Ah. Like, bruh. It's just ridiculous. If it gave me titties, I'd be a G cup by now. At least. This just in, not yet a G cup. Alright, I'm trying really hard. Shoving that tofu in, being told it's some soy cuck shit. Okay, where are my tits? Bruh. These fools. Here we go.
It's fine. Life's good. I'm back in action. All right, good. I am back on screen. So let me just get our friend Mr. Carbstrong back.
You're like an AA and 8 mountains of soy. The double A cup, see? Where's your soy tits?
As it looks like I'm frantically scrambling on my laptop to get the show back up and running.
It must
all
smell
I'm
in
doing is
there.
messaging my tech guy saying, bro, WTF. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
I want a tech guy.
So we should be
Make my
good
life so
in a
much
moment or
easier.
two. Bear with me. I remember the last question that we were on.
Lucas Fajardo,
So
the lad
I'm going
tipped
to
£1.
hopefully pick up where I left
A
off.
real masculine man
And
shouldn't
hopefully no one's
rely
too
on
upset
stealing nutrients from
about
others'
losing
bodies
4
to
or 5
sustain
minutes.
himself.
I
He
know
should
you
be
missed
so
me,
strong that
and the
he should be
cigar
able to thrive and
has
grow without injustice and oppression. You have one body. Isn't that enough?
Based. Thank you, Lucas.
That's the way it is.
I'm sorry, I muted that by accident for a second because I'm an absolute tit. It must be the
And
B12
here we
deficiency.
go. Right, I think I've got you back, do I? Is your mic muted? I can't.
You're back on my end, mate.
Good, and you're back here as well.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine. That's wonderful. So, the question that we just finished is we were talking about the dog meat farm that trolled me and sold the story to the newspaper. And I was saying that I don't particularly care if somebody eats their own dog, and that the dog meat festivals that happen in China, etc., I don't want to go there and stop them from doing it. So I guess why should I? Or why do you?
You got a photographic memory, mate. That was actually very spot on. You held that thought, didn't you?
Absolutely.
So actually, well, it doesn't matter to me whether or not they are my dog or my property or whatever.
Yeah, why should it matter?
I look at the animal's inherent value. So like, it doesn't matter if that human being is my friend. It would matter more to me if they were my family. Yes, I would attack with violent force if necessary to defend them. But it also matters to me what happens to people I don't know. So in the same case with dogs, if I've seen someone attacking a dog, being cruel to a dog, then I'm going to probably run up and punch him in the head just as I would if they were my own dog, because I'd be like, what are you doing? And what reason do you have to do that? Now, when you talk about other cultures doing something horrible to animals, it doesn't matter to me that it's their culture. It doesn't justify doing something bad just because it's your culture. There are good things about certain cultures. There are also bad things about certain cultures, and it doesn't morally justify an action just because
Otherwise,
it's cultural or
FGM would
whatever.
be justified.
So my question to you is,
Wonder how he feels about that.
do you only care about? Because I asked you about your dog, the dog charity. Not every dog at that charity is your dog. True.
Is your dog?
Well, that's true, but I completely finance it, and the dogs are rescued from the streets. And you're saying like doing cruel things to animals. Just because I eat meat doesn't mean that I advocate animal cruelty for no reason. You see, I know it's cruel. I know factory farms are cruel. I know where my chickens come from. I know where my beef comes from. I'm not a stupid person. I know I've killed animals myself. I've killed pigs with knives, in fact, on a part of a reality TV show. So I'm not a coward. I know exactly where my...
Oh, not without a reason, okay? We were killing them on a reality TV show. It was for a reason of reality TV. Okay? Like, obviously not without a reason. Okay? I'm not a stupid person.
Food comes from. But to say about animal cruelty for no reason, to add that into the mix, I think is a bit disingenuous, because I'm not talking about kicking dogs. I'm talking about the charity that I run prevents animal cruelty because it prevents animals from being on the street.
Yep.
But that is not the same as people who run dog meat farms raising dogs for meat, because I understand what they're raising those dogs for, and they're perfectly entitled to do that. I could try to reduce cruelty, but I think cruelty is completely justified, completely, when it comes to getting fed. I think that the shark that could bite me in half is totally justified to bite me in half. The shark committed no moral evil, even if it bit me. What am I doing in the ocean anyway?
Yeah, you should stay out of the ocean. I'm a big advocate for staying out of the ocean when the sharks are around. That's for sure. If you get
Well, that's because I'm half black, and black people hate the ocean. Like, I just inherited it from there, I think.
I stay clear of the ocean, but I think what you're talking about here is so you're making the point. You're saying that
if it's
cruelty
food,
is
I don't
justified
care.
if you're gonna
Yeah.
if you're gonna eat the animal, basically you can do whatever you want to them. Is that what your position is?
No, whatever you want. Why would that be my position? I don't think you should cut their arms and legs off while they're alive. I mean, killing something is never going to be not cruel.
Why would you care?
I genuinely, if somebody was raising an animal for food, let's say a chicken, and cut its wings off when it was alive, I honestly wouldn't care that much about the chicken. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to pretend that I would care. I do think it's unnecessary. I wouldn't do it. But you can't kill something in a non-cruel way. Killing something is always cruel. So the cruelty you have to see cruelty as justifiable if you're going to eat meat. Wouldn't you agree with that at least?
Well, there's something called the welfare movement, and there's two sides of this story here. There's obviously factory farming, which most people agree is bad, but they mostly support it through their
I don't think it's bad.
consumer habits. Do you think factory farming is bad?
No. I think it's a miracle that we can have 7 billion, 8 billion people on a planet,
But you said
and
it's
we can
cruel.
all feed them. And anywhere in the world I go, anywhere on Earth I go, if I want a steak or a chicken breast or some eggs, I can get hold of them. I think the food supply chain that humans have built and constructed in order to raise this great civilization is incredible. And I know that involves factory farms. So no, I don't think factory farms are unjustifiable in any way. Are they
So it's
cruel? Maybe.
Wait,
But I
you said
don't
yes,
care.
They are.
I think it's an amazing
He's all
feat
over
of
the
human
place.
ingenuity.
Okay, I think I'm getting closer here to your position here. I think but just forgive me here if I don't want to come across as rude or anything like that. But
Go
before
right
I
ahead.
thought you said, so you said factory farming is cruel.
Yeah. And
But-
cruelty can be
but now you're
justified.
saying
Now it's maybe. Now
cruelty
not.
can be justified if you're going to eat the animal. Is what your position is? Yeah.
Yeah.
About around well, let's just unpack it, because if we can't even agree that being cruel to animals is bad, then we won't really have to talk about animal rights, which is what I advocate for. I advocate for the rights of the animal, their right to life. Even if you say, if you shot a human in the back of the head, that's murder. You've basically taken away their right to exist. You've violated their rights, and it doesn't matter if
To a human,
caused
yes.
if you've caused them suffering or not. Shooting someone in the head if they didn't feel it is murder. Yeah.
Shooting a person in the head is murder. Yeah. Thou shalt not
Yeah.
kill.
Okay. And you violated their
So what's
human
the
rights.
morally
haven't you?
relevant
You violated
difference?
their right to
Here we
life,
go.
essentially, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Human Rights Act is a very real thing.
Here we go.
There was no Human
Yeah,
Rights Act
yeah.
until the 1960s, is it? I think the European Union came up with it. But no, I don't think that animals get the same rights as humans. No way.
What's morally relevant
Absolutely
difference?
not.
Okay.
I was gonna say God shit.
Well, what I'm saying is we don't even really need to talk about animal rights right now. We can just talk about animal cruelty, which is different. It's their welfare, which is like they're people that believe you can be kind to an animal before you kill them. But you're taking the position that like, factory farming is like a great invention, and it's like amazing that we can feed 8 billion people 80 billion animals that
is amazing.
suffer in these horrible sheds.
Yes.
Right. And because I'm actually I don't know if you know about this, but I investigate these farms constantly in the UK. We do a lot of investigation.
Same, and it's
I saw your video about the
into
pigs in gas chambers.
Yep.
There we go. So that's free range pigs go to this gas chamber.
So do I think that's wrong?
Do you think it's wrong that they suffer for 30 seconds to a
gassed.
minute in a dungeon filled with gas and in their own
No.
feces, screaming for mercy?
I know. I actually don't. I don't care at all. I think that there's no kind way of killing something, and killing something is necessary to keep up the meat production of the world. So I think
So
it's
it's
perfectly
necessary
fine.
in and of
Obviously,
itself.
it'd be nice if you could click your fingers and they just completely drop out.
It's necessary for me to farm humans in order to have human meat. It's necessary for me to, just have a human trafficking. Just a weird kind of like idea. Is it necessary for me to have human traffickers to run a human trafficking dungeon? Okay, yeah, actually, it's very necessary for that operation to go ahead.
Consciousness. There was a way of killing things
No
that
wonder
was
he doesn't give a fuck,
100%
really.
harmless or pleasurable. That would be preferable, I guess, but there isn't. I don't want to be killed. Do you?
No, I don't want to be murdered. I don't want to suffer in a gas chamber.
But I like to eat bacon, and somebody has to kill the pigs. But it's a reality of eating meat.
But it is a reality. I mean, but to say you don't care at all about these animals suffering to death, like in this gas chamber, seems a bit like you're lacking empathy that most of the population would have.
I mean, it's a pig. It was raised for a reason. And also, my position is this on pigs and cows
raised for a
and,
reason?
Dogs. On
Whoa,
all
whoa,
these
whoa,
things.
whoa, whoa.
There's not a single farm animal, almost. There's not a single farm animal which exists exactly as it is on the farm out in nature. All of these things were produced by humans. Pigs in nature, I've seen them. They're short and fucking muscly and brown and hairy, and they've got tusks, and they're fast and they're dangerous. The big fat lazy pink pigs exist because we bred them to be that way. Every single form of cattle, every single form is descendant of the European oryx, which has been extinct for over 400-something years. Humans have created these animals through selective breeding. In fact, if you want to make an argument not to eat dogs, I'd understand it a bit more than cows and pigs, because dogs were selectively bred by people, but not for food. Dogs were selectively bred by people.
They've also been
to
used
be hunters,
also
and
been
to be
used for food,
retrievers.
though.
That's why they still have these names today.
Why would that make
But if
it
someone wants to
suddenly
eat a
more of
dog,
an
I still don't
argument?
care, and I have to. And you have
Why
to.
would it suddenly make it more of an argument if someone breeds like an individual for a specific purpose? If I breed a specific type of human with purple hair to farm them and eat them, do I have more of an argument for doing that? Oh, because I bred them for that reason. Come on, bro.
To understand, and everyone has to understand.
You
that
can
all
tell he
these
hasn't
pigs
thought this
weren't
through
just wandering
at all.
around the countryside when we decided to show up and kill them. They were specifically bred for that purpose. It's why they get so fat so fast. It's why you can feed them almost anything and they put on body mass. So yeah, the unfortunate last 30 seconds of a pig's life where it suffers in a gas chamber is completely fine with me.
I think Joey's stressed because obviously this guy is just saying a load of different stuff. It's just kind of coming out. There's so much to address. Like when this is coming, you've got all these people listening. It's like, oh my God, I have to address this. It's like, oh, like, what do I do? But at the end of the day, for all of this, he's sounding very sociopathic. He's sounding void of empathy, which typically, like, I know his audience is going to be pretty toxic, but there are going to be people that are like, what the hell, bro? That's messed up, you know?
Really is, because that's how it goes from farm to table. There's no happy way of doing it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like for me, if they didn't suffer in a gas chamber, it's wrong to murder them. Like for me, similar to murdering a human being. But we can talk about.
So how should we murder them?
Well, I don't think we should murder them. I don't think it's morally justifiable because I've been vegan for 10 years and haven't had to stab an animal in the throat yet. You know, since I've been vegan. Now,
I stabbed it in the chest, for the record.
I've seen you. I know that you're on shipwrecked and you're advocating for killing the animals on the island.
I did kill them.
Now, you're not on an island now. You're actually multi-millionaire and you can eat whatever you want.
I didn't even need to be on that island. It was a TV show.
You still choose to. You don't need to eat animals, do you? Do you believe you need to, or you just said that it's tasty, you want to?
Yeah, well, I want to, and I understand.
Oh, we got Reaper in the chat. Hello. Every single living being eats other beings since the dawn of times. Yeah, humans have also killed each other since the dawn of time, assaulted each other. Is it justified to murder humans and assault them because we've been doing that since the dawn of time? Reaper, please think before you type, okay? It will really help you out in future.
In today's society with supermarkets and all the miracles that you guys talk about, that you can exist on a vegan diet, yeah. But so that means I could, right? Because I live in the 21st century. I live here in a first world country with supermarkets and food that you can buy everywhere. So yeah, I'm not one of the Maasai people of Africa. I'm not a hunter-gatherer. I'm not one of the people who lives in southern Gujarat in India who has to...
The Maasai who he appealed to as like the people to like live by.
And not fish. Yeah. I understand I have a choice of what I can eat. I understand that. And I eat meat, and that's the way it is. I like meat, and I don't see anything wrong with meat, and I don't care that the animals have to die because it's just an unfortunate part of being part of the food chain. Just as a shark or a crocodile or a polar bear wouldn't care if it was eating me or my child. It wouldn't care. Yeah. And as much as I'd be a bad parent if I let my daughter get near a polar bear, I could not argue the polar bear did anything morally wrong by eating a person. I don't think you can.
Would you shoot the polar bear to protect your daughter?
I'd shoot a polar bear to eat it, given half a chance.
Yeah, but I'm saying, would you shoot? You would obviously, if a human was about to be eaten by like a polar bear, would you shoot the polar bear to protect the human being? Say you didn't know the human.
I'd shoot a human to protect another human into the right circumstances.
Me too.
People do it all the time.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. 100%. I would use lethal force to protect someone's life.
Absolutely.
100%. And my family's whatever.
Someone is.
I'm not against killing. I'm not against killing, like per se. If it can be, I believe killing can be justified in certain situations, right?
Why? How?
What I am against.
No, continue.
What I am against is I'm just against innocent beings being enslaved and decapitated so I can eat a piece of their body. That I don't think is justified. So there's a difference between justifiable like killing to protect self-defense, things like this, and unjustifiable killing for a bacon sandwich, a bit of taste pleasure.
It is difficult to argue against I don't care, but a lot of the time it isn't true, and it's really good as a demonstration of just how like ludicrous and awful you have to be. Like would you want this sort of person like having precedence over your life? Would you want that sort of person in your society? No, not really.
I don't make that difference at all. I can't make that distinction, and I certainly don't put animal lives and human lives on the exact same plane of importance at all. Like a lot of do you think that pigs and cows are?
You don't need to put them on the same level of importance in order for them to be valuable, insofar as it's like just like not justified to like exploit and kill them. They don't need to be the same level. You can value your best mate more than you can a stranger, like over in Canada who I don't know. I value my friend more. Doesn't mean I get to stab the Canadian. It's
as important as people.
God,
do you feel their lives are worth as much as a person's life?
Just think it's okay.
Well, what we could do is we could do a little. We could play. It's like a logical consistency test, and it's for this exact topic what you're bringing up right now.
Is it a word trap? I'm ready if it is. But go ahead.
It's not a word trap. It's just basically we share a common like morally relevant trait with animals, and it's our conscious experience. Now, you could say that we have more intelligence than animals.
Nam trait.
Especially we could use a pig, for example. Pigs are more intelligent than dogs. Okay, we know that scientifically, or they're at least comparable, and in some studies do better. In some studies, dogs do better, but they're about on par or better in certain studies.
Pigs
but like,
better.
let's say we have is there something about animals, right? When you look at, say, a pig, is there something about that pig that obviously I don't think you would agree with putting human beings in gas chambers to eat them for bacon? Yeah, you make a distinction.
Well, of course I wouldn't. Why would I want to eat a human being? In fact, if you give
What's
me
morally
60
relevant
seconds,
difference?
let me tell you something that humans and animals have in common. It's a very basic concept that almost every animal in the world has in common, besides like octopus and a few others. It's called the preservation of one's own species. So if you take a piranha, tiny little...
So it would be a preservation of one's own species to start like reducing the population of human beings. Does that suddenly mean it'd be justified for us to kill each other? It'd be the preservation of me. Like it would probably be the preservation of our species to like half it. There could be an argument made for that. Does that suddenly mean it would be justified to like you wouldn't sign off on this in the human context? Oh my god.
Angry fish with a brain the size of a pea. You put any piece of meat or a human or a horse
Brain
or a
the
dog
size
or a
of a pea. I'm
pig
trying to
into
think
that pond
through
and
that.
it's bleeding. The piranha's going to rip it apart. But piranhas don't eat other piranhas. No species survives if it does. The preservation of one's own species is more important than the preservation of other species. That's why lions don't hunt and eat other lions. That's why they eat other things. So if you want to talk about traits that we have in common, then I as a human saying, yeah, screw the pig, I'm going to eat him.
And why would you, if you want to preserve the human species, why would you engage in animal agriculture? Why would you do that? Isn't he a climate change denier, actually? He might well be. I'm pretty sure he is.
And I'm not going to kill and eat other humans. There's something that we have in common with every other species. Because I'm not interested in killing or eating humans, and I don't think killing humans is right almost ever. There's almost no justifiable reason to murder somebody or to be cruel to somebody. But pigs, I simply don't care about humans.
The human species murder each other all the time.
I know, but I don't.
Humans are some of the most sick evil animal on earth. I mean,
Yeah,
we find the most creative ways to torture and murder each other. We murder each other en masse, murder children. Human beings are not some amazing species, moral species. I mean, we created morality. We can act morally.
God created morality, my friend, and humans know it's wrong. And if a human doesn't know it's wrong, then we can argue that there's something wrong with that human. He is a defective person.
Defective that you have no empathy for the other animals.
I'd like to stick on this point about humans and animals. You have a separator here. You wouldn't want to see humans factory farmed and put in these places. So there's got to be a trait that's different. And now, are you saying that the trait that separates humans from and animals, that it's like a morally relevant trait that we possess that the animals do not possess?
Yeah, it's that they're not humans. I care about the preservation of my own species because I'm not a psychopath. Whereas a pig is not a human, and I'm not interested in the preservation of pigs.
What do you mean by species? Like what do you mean by human? We are human. Is it something about our DNA or something like that? A multitude of factors. Is it because we're more intelligent and it's our DNA? Or I just want to find out what these differences are.
Well, as somebody who doesn't believe in God, I'll speak in your language. Because if somebody who doesn't believe in God, they will say that every species evolved independently in and of itself, and humans are... Yeah, it is our DNA. It's the fact that I can mate with another human and create another human. Everyone knows what a human is, but I would say a human is made in the image of God. That's what I would say. And a pig is not made in the image of God. It certainly is not made in the image of God. Neither is a cow. In fact, cows and pigs are made in the image of what humans made them into.
Perspective philosophy can be quite...
As a religious person, there's no argument you could possibly give me to see any lower life form or any animal besides a human as equal to a human, because animals aren't made in the image of God.
So if there were a species of human beings that look exactly like us, but weren't made in God's image, and they shared like all of our morally relevant traits, like the consciousness experience, they could experience the same level and depth of suffering as us, except they weren't made in the image of God. But you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between being like, so we were made in the image of God, and there's a group that aren't. Let's just say they evolved separately from us.
Sure.
But
So
you wouldn't be able to tell us apart. Is it okay? One second, let me finish my point, and then I'll let you go. But I was just wondering, is it okay to do to them what we do to animals because they're not made in the image of God, and you wouldn't be able to tell us apart, really?
If I'm correct, isn't an octopus an insanely intelligent animal with a very complicated nervous system that feels pain and emotions just like humans do?
Yeah, like most animals.
Am I correct in that? I think that's true.
Yeah.
They're also delicious, and I don't care about an octopus. So if that answers your question, then that answers your question.
Well, it doesn't really. I'm just trying to figure out. So basically, because humans are made in the image of God, right? We can't do to humans what we do to animals.
Nope, because the commandments of God, when they say "Thou shalt not kill," talks about other human beings. It does not speak about animals.
It doesn't say that. It says "Thou shalt not murder," doesn't it? "Thou shalt not kill." It doesn't say "Thou shalt not."
Well, it says "Thou shalt not kill," but then in Leviticus chapter 11, it tells you which animals you can eat and which animals you can't. And the Islamic holy book tells you exactly how to slaughter them and which animals you can eat and which animals you can't.
There's also passages that talk about him being.
What does it say anything about not eating dogs?
Look,
in Islam, they've got a. Hang on. In Islam, they do, but I don't think in Christianity.
So I don't eat dogs. No, Leviticus chapter 11, I believe, it is a differentiation between what the animal eats and what its hoof shape is. Obviously, this was written a very long time ago. If someone in the chat wants to correct me or look this up, I believe it says, if it has a hoof that's split in half and chews of the cud, you can eat it, which does not refer to camels, but it refers to basically every other livestock animal that we have today.
Yeah, but
I've read the Bible. I've read the Bible many times.
Yeah, and these animals are selectively bred by humans, and they're kept in factory farms and put under immense.
There are multiple passages.
If you're saying it because
the New Testament and Old Testament that you can use,
and we can't actually prove that. Like, can we? Like, we have to believe that's a faith. We have to have faith in that. Yeah.
Like veganism.
You have to have faith. It's like a belief that you have that no one can actually verify or disprove. is what I'm like.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
I can't really say, "Oh no, we weren't." Like,
No,
'cause
I
you
mean-
just say, "Well, yes, we were."
Yeah, but you
and
can't-
could never get to a point.
we could go on indefinitely with this because you could say something to me like, "Oh, we shouldn't kill and eat pigs because it's cruel," and I could say, "Yes, we should," and no, it's not cruel. But I don't try to redact the arguments down to such a basic level. I like to try to give a little bit of nuance and try to inject my knowledge into the situation a little bit more. But no, I don't think any argument can be made that animal lives are as important as human lives. And if you really truly
They
believe,
don't need to, it doesn't need to be that they are as important. We don't even need to go there. So nice try, but we don't even need to get to the point where, it's completely equal to get to the vegan position. You don't need to do that. Just like you don't need to be at the position where you hold personally every single human at the same value in order to just grant them their basic human rights. So we don't even need to do that. Sorry.
that if you really truly in your heart believe that an animal life is important as a human life, then I believe that there is something, and I don't mean this in an offensive way. Let's talk about a third party. This guy believes that animal lives and human lives, because it's sentient, are all exactly of equal value. Then that person is less intelligent than a piranha or a shark, because piranhas don't think that piranha lives are less important than the other animals' lives. And the preservation of your own species is something innate in all of us, in almost every creature that lives. So if you want to say that you're less intelligent than a piranha, and you believe that a pig's life or a chicken's life or a cow's life or a lamb's life is exactly as important as yours or mine or my kids or your kids, I don't believe that you really think that.
Come on, Joe.
Well, it depends on who the person is, really. Because if you're talking about a piece of shit, then I don't see them as any more worthy than a fly.
Yeah,
but
of
if
course.
you're talking about if you're talking about a
In
pretty
general.
good person, they try their best.
In
If
general.
they try their best.
A child.
They're like me. Like if you met me 10 years ago, you probably thought, bloody, he's a lost hope. But I turn my life around now, try to do good in the world, and I try to, leave a positive mark on the world.
And I have
So
to say, your story, sorry to digress a little bit, I didn't know anything about you. Your story is actually pretty cool. So, because just because you're a vegan and I disagree with you and I don't give a shit about animals.
£1. Is a Drew Tate a creationist? Oh boy, I wish I could debate him on this and see what he has to say about endogenous retroviruses.
I don't know, actually. I don't know if... Wait, well, Andrew Tate, I think he's Muslim now. He was Christian. I don't know about that, but thank you so much, Lucas.
Doesn't mean that I can't tell
Salad's in the chat.
27, 28, I haven't refreshed it, 30-something thousand people watching on my audience, that your story of being a gangbanger and a piece of shit and a criminal and turning it all around isn't inspirational. So I know that's off topic, and I'm not trying to throw you off, but actually well done to you, because a lot of people, and I've met a lot of them, don't end up where you are today, given those circumstances.
No, they don't. Most of my friends are still in jail. I appreciate that.
He might be wasting his time with him, but he's not wasting his time. There are going to be people who hear this, and he's just said, you're inspirational. There are going to be people who actually then move on from Andrew, from Tristan, because a lot of their audience, to be fair, are just looking for a father figure. That's what they're looking for, and then they end up, unfortunately, in the hands of people like Tristan and Andrew.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that.
Well, I didn't know it until you introduced yourself.
Yeah.
I literally didn't even know.
No, okay. Well,
Yeah.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bev.
I've been very
Thank you
transparent
so
about my
much.
past, as transparent as I can be, and a lot of my friends are still either in prison on drugs or in gangs, or so a lot of people don't make it out of that world. So thank you, but I am trying to do right. But this is something I really care about. Even I've been in violent situations. I've been targeted. I've been held hostage at gunpoint. I've been beaten, bashed. I know what it's like to be a victim. I've also victimized people, and I think that they're both wrong. They're wrong to do, right? And I know you're making a distinction between humans and animals, but if I saw someone back then, even if you saw, let me ask you this: if I was being cruel to a dog in front of you, like say I had a hot iron and I was putting it in their eye and they were squealing and that, you would just feel nothing?
No, if you're working at a dog factory, killing the dog so you can eat it, I would not care, because it's your dog, your farm, your business, your factory, your life. I'm a free market capitalist.
See, a lot of his audience here disagree with that. I know, there's going to be nut huggers and everyone who's like, oh, yeah. Then later on, they're going to be like, nah, that's pretty fucked up, innit?
And if you're a producer of dog meat,
That's not a
all well
normal
and
way
good.
to think.
If I saw you torturing anything for any reason, I'd say, well, what's the point in that? What's the benefit? Are you providing anyone with a meal? Are you providing anyone with food, sustenance? No, you're just
So torture's fine, as long as you get something out of it that you find valuable. Okay,
being
got
a
you.
dick. So yeah, I would have a go
You
at
don't
someone.
need-
Okay.
Well, let's just say that I have plant-based food available to me. There's plenty of plant-based food available to me. I'm torturing them because
Yeah, I don't even know if I really believe him, but also there's part of me that does believe him because of, he's just... doesn't seem all that nice, really.
Because you want to eat them.
because I just made the choice to over the plant-based food.
Yes.
I'm deciding I want to torture them to eat them because it's basically just a flippant choice.
Yes.
I could eat plant food, but I don't really like it as much. I like torturing animals and eating them.
I mean,
you wouldn't have an issue with that.
I love vegetables, but I also love eating meat, and that's how free market capitalism works. You see, Joey, I think a lot of people like you, and I don't mean to offend you, they think that they can educate somebody like me. They think I'm some big dumb thug, and they think that I don't know where my food comes from. And they think they're going to show me videos of certain factory farms and talk to me about the processes in which chickens.
Oh, honey, you don't know you're being used. A lot of people are well aware that you are very deep down a very horrible pit, and you may well later down the line be exposed for some really heinous crimes. So, like, I think there's the knowledge that you'll be quite hard to reach, and there's probably, like, I think there's years of therapy for a person of this caliber in this situation. But there are a lot of people. There are 30,000 people listening to this right now over on his Rumble stream. A lot of them are just going to be interested, curious. They're not going to be down that route. So no, he's not probably thinking, "Oh, I can educate you. You have no idea." He's trying to educate people who really don't know.
Lay eggs and the cages they're kept in, and I'm going to go, "Oh my God, this is wrong." But that's not the way I'm programmed. If I was super interested in feudal Japanese history, and I went to all the feudal Japanese history conventions and spoke about it in every conversation when I got drunk with my friends, which I tend to do, and you looked at me and said, "Tristan, I just don't give a shit about feudal Japanese history. I don't care. It's not an issue I care about. I don't want to learn about it."
Yeah, it's just showing, again, there's something wrong with you. We're talking about issues pertaining to, like, literally torture of other sentient beings, and you're trying to compare it to this thing and really not seeing a distinction. There's something in your psyche that's just not quite working the way typically it would work for others. We would kind of see a distinction there that makes it very paramount to talk about this thing and care about it.
I don't want to know about it. I'd say, you know what? Good for you. Veganism is one of these things that you believe you could actually convince somebody like me, because you think you can open my eyes. My eyes are wide open. One of my friends who's in this house right now used to work at a slaughterhouse. My eyes are open. I know exactly where my food comes from, and I do not value the lives of cattle and animals produced for food. I just don't. I value them in the way that they provide sustenance for people to eat. I actually run a charity which provides food for children in war-torn countries, TatePledge.com, if anyone wants to check it out. And I don't give a shit if it's beef or if it's corn, as long as people are eating. That's the way that I think about things. So you can't really open my eyes to this, because I don't think there's many things that I am ignorant of.
Well, I mean, I don't think you've ever been inside of these places, though, have you?
I've been inside of pig farms and chicken farms. I've never been inside of a cattle farm. No, not myself.
I've seen you on a pig farm, backyard pig farm or something in Romania, like with 1 or 2 pigs there.
Well, no, that wasn't a pig farm. I've been inside a real pig farm in England when I was younger.
A factory?
Yeah.
Factory pig farm?
Yeah, I was doing delivery drives with some guy. So I've been inside. But again, I've seen all the videos. I've seen all the images. I've killed pigs myself. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not one of these people. You know what? Shout out to this guy. He probably doesn't remember me. There was a guy on the island with me when I was in that reality TV show. And some people said, "I'm not going to kill the pig. I'm not going to eat the pig." And some people said, "I'm going to actively take part in the killing of the pig, and I'm going to eat the pig." Obviously, the killing was done by me because I was the one the producers most trusted as the most competent person on the island. But there was 1 or 2 people there who said, "You know what? I don't want to be around when the pig is killed. I don't want to be around when we have to strip it and gut it and cut off its skin, but I am going to eat it." And I think we could both agree
that's more typically a typical response as well.
No?
Yeah, if they're going to eat it. Yeah. I mean,
you need to know the reality of where your food comes from.
One is displaying normal human emotion. You're displaying...
I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't really hypocritical. Doesn't tell you whether or not what he did was fucked up. Okay?
Something that is close to, I would say, people who tend to not care about the suffering of animals, or...
Jeffrey
I don't know if
Dahmer's
you don't take pleasure in
any
cruelty to animals, do you?
Really? Is that a serious question? Of course it was.
I mean, because it is a serious question, because most people don't have your position that they don't care how cruel someone is to animals.
You may well say
that's not my
to animals
position.
as long as I'm going to eat them.
That is not my position. I think if you were going to kill animals, you should kill them in the most humane way possible. I said there is no killing of an animal without cruelty.
Yeah, but okay, philosophically, yes, if you believe it's cruel to kill.
You said you don't care. No.
That the act of killing is
You're
cruel.
being gaslit right now, Joey.
Absolutely.
Don't fall for it.
So it justifies it because you're eating it.
But
he said
you also said
care.
factory farming is an amazing invention, even though it's just basically an infinite suffering machine that's like dead birds dying on their faces and pigs suffering to death on the floor of their own, like laying in their own feces, like mothers like stuck in cages, and like piglets being smacked on the ground and their heads like on the concrete. You say horrible places here.
I know you say mothers though, but I feel like the language you use is trying to get some sort of emotional response. Mothers. I have a mother. You have a mother. There's the mother of my children who I care deeply about. It's a chicken. And I did, yeah. Well, it's a pig. It's a cow. Yeah, but it's a wonderful, wonderful system that anywhere I go in the world, I can ask for a plate of chicken and somebody can get me chicken and cook it for me and put it on my plate. Now, factory farming plays a massive role in that, whether anyone likes it or not. So it is very impressive. Back when my parents were growing up, you had seasonal vegetables. You couldn't even get oranges in the winter. And now, any time of any year in any city in the civilized world, I can get a steak. I eat steak every day. I think that's a beautiful thing. Now, I understand that factory farms are a part of this system. When I say the system is incredibly impressive because I can eat steak whenever I like, that doesn't mean I'm going to sit at a factory farm and get my dick out and get off on the fact that all these cows are being tortured. And, you know, I'm not a sadistic person, but I understand that it's part of the system, the wonderful system of global food supply. And I love steak. So would I abolish factory farms? No.
Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, I'm just actually very surprised that you know so much about the industry. Like, if you know as much as I know,
yes,
and you're calling it wonderful because it's like something like, you know, I've been in some pretty horrible situations and I've seen some pretty horrible like videos, like, but when I became an investigator and seen what goes on in these places, like it is some of the most disgusting, vile, horrific violence and cruelty and stench of corpses lying in they die in their own feces, these animals, and these chickens are 6 weeks old. They grow so quick. They just grow so quickly that they break their own legs and they lay there suffering to death. Like millions of birds die before they even get to the
don't throw them
slaughterhouse.
away.
And to call that wonderful, like, just seems like either like maybe you just think the technology is wonderful or something, but inside there, like if you've seen all the footage, I don't know how wonderful can come to your mind. Like, and most people that I've ever spoken to, and they've actually done research on this, they've done massive polls. Like, most people are against factory farming.
Yeah, they say they are. They say they are, and then people talk about, oh, you have to get rid of farming because of climate change. Yeah, let's get rid of all the farms. That's a wonderful idea. And I know you're going to say, well, we could grow a bunch of beans, but I don't want to eat beans, and I don't want to eat crickets, and I don't want to eat plant-based food. I want to eat meat, and factory farms are part of the supply chain. It's not that a factory farm itself is beautiful. You have to understand these are all intricate wheels in a system, which gives people the ability to have whatever food they like on whatever plate they like in whatever city they like globally. So
you can have vegan versions of whatever you like. One day there'll be cultured flesh. It's just been FDA approved. So you can have what you want. Oh, you don't want to. Oh, you can have that still, the vegan version. You could probably afford to like open up lines and have vegan ribs and have whatever you want to have. Oh God, that was very dishonest. Oh, you say we grow beans. Come on now.
I find that impressive. That's an impressive feat of human ingenuity.
Yeah, like crickets.
And to take that argument to say, oh, Tristan's the kind of guy who loves factory farms and thinks they're beautiful.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Like, he mentioned crickets. Like that would be like the argument. Oh yeah, we're gonna really want crickets. Okay, great.
Really not what I said. One.
Okay.
And two, well, my next question would be, did you think that I don't know stuff before you spoke to me? Because you seem surprised I know a lot. Like, what, do people think I'm stupid? I don't get it. Some people do.
He is going off on one.
I think you're very bright, and I think you've been well educated, and you speak very coherently, and you've a higher intelligence than a lot of people that I speak to. But
every cow.
He's still
what
talking.
I do come across though is people who think they know about what goes on, but have just seen a few videos here and there, and like I don't. But maybe, you know, maybe just being there and that visceral stench and hearing the murmuring of the animals and seeing them dying on their faces might pull you off of the position that this is just a wonderful invention where I get to have meat wherever I want in the country.
0% in the world, and 0%. No, I understand the realities of where my food comes from.
He is sucking his ass pretty hard, but Tristan's ego is pretty fragile, so you got to be kind of careful.
And I think a lot of people do. That's my point about the. I think a lot of people do. I think that a lot of people watching right now are going to learn a thing or two. And I don't think anyone who listens to me and follows me is going to think, oh, I better convert to veganism. I believe that you can be a vegan if you like.
Oh, they are.
I don't mind if you're a vegan.
Given a fucked up
but you mind if I eat meat?
Exactly. And I'll tell you why. Yeah. It's not because I'm trying to control people or whatever. People think that I want to control. Oh, why do you care what I eat? I see this a lot. Vegans are trying to control what I eat. They're weirdos. Like, people think veganism is some diet. Like, it's just a diet, you know, like I choose to be carnivore. You can be whole foods. You can have a raw diet, and I choose to be a vegan. Like, it's a diet choice. It's actually, we care what people consume, because on the other end of that, animals are being raised, mutilated. So they're caused, this is factory farming, suffering, and then they are murdered in like a gas chamber or a slaughterhouse filled with blood in order to meet that demand. So people are collectively making up that demand. And so we are trying to stop people from making up that demand, so the animals can stop being bred into infinite torture and then murder.
Well, some people never will, because we understand that very well. And I think that let's move on to something that we might agree on, because I think that you've got your points across. And this is what I meant, by the way, when I said it's not going to be much of a debate, because I don't really have anything to say, oh, you shouldn't be vegan and you shouldn't preach it because X, Y.
That's not just because you're saying, oh, you shouldn't or anything. You've made claims. You've made quite a few claims that Joey hasn't actually had a chance to address. So why are we moving on now? Ooh.
And, you know, factory farming is 100% great and there's no suffering involved. I'm not one of those people. I understand reality. This is why I don't think there was ever much of a debate to be had in the first place, because I'm just one of those people who understands the world exceptionally well. I understand where my food comes exceptionally well. I think that is acceptable for it to be this way. And that's just the way it is. So let's change subject, because I think you're going to like this one. Let's talk about trophy hunting. Because I think we'll find a lot more common ground with trophy hunting.
Oh, we're going to see some contradictions, aren't we? Okay, no, let's move on there.
And
Let's
with
see.
the food that I eat. Because I'm never going to agree with you that I care at all about how a chicken is treated.
Tristan,
I
you
just
don't want
won't.
to do this.
But we can move on and maybe we can be friends again.
Well, yeah, we can move on. We can. I really do.
Take me back.
We can talk about trophy hunting. I really want.
I think that's a good idea, actually.
I can do whatever I want to a bird, a chicken. I can grab a chicken, slowly pluck their feathers out, and they can be screaming. I can burn them and singe it, and then I can do that to 10,000 chickens, one out after the other, in just this infinite loop of torture. Right? I can just do that continuously, and all you have to do is move your hand over a button to stop it. You know, would you do that? Just stop that suffering, or you just don't care even that much?
Well, no,
I just push a button and I'd stop.
Well, you couldn't do that to my chickens, because if I had chickens, they live in my garden, etc., and I just cut their heads off. In fact, when I killed chickens before, I broke their necks and cut their heads off. That's what I did. I took no pleasure in torturing animals. I think anyone who takes pleasure in torturing anything, there's probably something a little bit wrong with them. If you,
who cares?
I genuinely don't care that much.
Yeah,
as a chicken.
yeah, who cares?
Because you don't eat KFC for health, though, do you? You eat KFC for.
Well, KFC makes you strong. Yeah, KFC.
Yeah, no.
It's fried in lots.
We can talk about protein in that, but
KFC isn't great.
You eat KFC for pleasure, don't you?
I do.
You choose KFC for pleasure.
Absolutely. So if I could,
how is
trophy hunting
eating
for
KFC for pleasure different to what I'm doing for pleasure? Say I got pleasure out of torturing these animals. It gave me sensory pleasure. I really liked them squealing or whatever. You really like the taste of KFC. And
let him contradict himself, because if here's the problem with trophy hunting,
animals are suffering in horrible factory farms in order to bring you that.
Because he
KFC.
thinks they're going to be friends again when they start talking about trophy hunting. So we're going to see a clear contradiction, aren't we? Yeah, let him go on. Let him
How
dig
is
the
what you're doing any
grave.
different to what I'm doing?
let me restructure your question. If I could push a button and stop it, and by stopping it, it means you just take a big butcher's knife and cut the chicken's heads off, then I would push that button, because why would I want anything to be tortured? I don't see the point in it. But if you were just raising them in cages, as a lot of places in Africa and a lot of places in Argentina and all the places where our world comes from, where our meat comes from in the world, where they try to raise animals as many as they can, as fast as they can, and as small a space as they can, these people who are very hardworking people, I think we'll all agree, who are trying to make their living, who if you shut down their factory farm probably wouldn't have much else to do, who are taking these chickens and treating them carelessly, and if they're killing them in a relatively humane way. I mean, Islam gives a guide.
He's all over the place. He's all over the place. He's like, oh, torture's bad. No, torture's fine. I don't care. Torture's bad. Oh, trophy hunting, by the way, is going to be really bad, isn't it? I don't care.
How to kill animals. And I know everyone's like, oh, that's cruel because it's with a knife. Well, there were no bolt guns invented in the time of the Prophet
Cruel is fine. Cruel is bad, by the way. But being cruel, necessary. It's necessary to do what I would like to do. But trophy hunting, by the way, I don't want to do it, so it's bad. Go away.
Peace be upon him. So the guidance is actually very, very good. Don't let the animal see the knife, etc. There's nobody on earth who would choose having the animal tortured as opposed to killed as humanely as possible. But if you were running a factory farm and you were a Chinese man in Wuhan and you were sick of your life and you were cruelly kicking your chickens all day and whipping them, I wouldn't come to your farm and tell you how to run your chicken farm. And I would probably still buy your chicken. I don't put the lives of chickens.
You would fund me. If I was torturing the chickens, you would go, here, mate, here's $20. Give us a couple of those chickens and you'd keep me in business.
How cheap are they?
They're just about an average bucket of chicken.
I don't care about chickens.
Why would the money?
I don't care about chickens. If I
they suffer, they suffer the same as other animals, is what I'm saying. They have a brain, a functioning nervous system. They feel they want to avoid pain. They want to. Of course they are sentient beings. They're like birds.
Yes.
I mean, if you see, like, I just don't see them any different to any other bird or any other animal. Like, I mean,
he needs to pick a side. Is cruelty bad or not? Which one is it? At least he's admitting they're sentient. A lot of people won't fucking do that. But is it bad or not to be cruel to these animals? Amazing. I don't
know why you make a distinction between a pig and the dog. These are both animals who are having a subjective experience. They both experience.
If you can't make that distinction over the example I gave you earlier about every single life form that is farmed on a farm being created by humans and selectively bred for a reason, and that dogs were bred to be your friend, provide companionship, go hunting with, and pigs were bred to get as big as possible, as fast as possible so we can kill them. If you really can't see the distinction between a pig and a dog, that's okay. Because if people eat dogs, I don't care that they eat dogs. I'm not going to eat my dog. I like my dog. My dog is my friend. I don't care if a pig is smart. If I had a pig, it would be for food, but I don't eat pork anyway. We're just using pigs as an example. But I'd happily eat a cow and kill a cow. I have no problem with that. And nobody is ever going to change my mind. I think that this is the attitude that a lot of vegans don't really know exists out there in the world, between the millions and millions of people who they think they can convince with some slot.
Oh, sadly, we very much know that this mentality exists. It's just worrying that it does. Because if you were the victim, you wouldn't want someone to have this mentality. And because it's just fucking all over the place. You can't justify it. I don't care, though. Not an argument, by the way.
Slaughterhouse video. We don't care about chickens. We don't care. We eat them. That's what they're for.
Wow, people don't care. I didn't know that. People don't... This just in, guys. Can you put 1 in the chat if you're shocked that people don't care? There are people out there who don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. No way. You fucking... You could have fooled me.
Keep saying you don't care. I mean, obviously, if you did care, it would be extremely hard to continue that behavior. Because when I was in gangs, for example, like we had to not care about the enemy. You know, and if you did start to care about the enemy, you couldn't really do what you had to do.
Yeah,
so you had to
wars.
you had to put this shield up, and this shield helped you get through what you had to get through. If you started caring, basically, you couldn't be a very good person in the gang world. You couldn't be a very...
Wait, he said he doesn't eat pigs, but he eats bacon. Did he say he eats bacon? I can't remember. Did he say it in the chat, or has he said it elsewhere?
Good soldier, if you always cared. But you have to actually have this feeling of not caring for these animals, knowing that they suffer and they're harmed and they're slaughtered and all this stuff. If you did care, you wouldn't be able to eat the animals, and I do care. And there's probably a bunch of people watching this who actually, if someone who's I'm not, obviously you're not to be convinced of this, but if there's people that are watching who do care about the experiences of other animals and do see them as, you know, valuable in their own right because they have a conscious experience, then those people shouldn't be consuming animal products, right? The ones who do care.
No, I believe that we live in a modern world and the world is completely detached. Unfortunately, the supply and demand world and the way that we get our products is entirely detached from the system that creates them. I believe if someone actually really likes chickens and wouldn't harm a chicken themselves and they continue to want to eat chicken, that doesn't bother me at all. Just in the way that if you're wearing a pair of Nike sneakers and you don't care that some child in China sewed them, or you use an iPhone and you don't care about the appalling conditions at the iPhone.
Is he really trying to use the degrees of separation argument as if it's at all analogous to like direct rights violations? Amazing.
Factories. And you continue to use your iPhone. Yeah, you'd rather not. You'd rather it be made by happy, smart people getting paid $400 an hour. I'm sure
he's not bothered though, but he's actually trying right now to make an argument.
But so would I. But the world of supply and demand, this isn't communism. The state doesn't produce everything. We live in a world of competition and things are produced in the way that they're produced so everyone can get their hands on everything. And it's a beautiful system if you have enough money. So, no, I would not tell people who care about...
Reaper, by analysing his statements objectively, detaching emotions, it's evident no inherent contradiction exists in his position. Reaper, darling honey bun sugar pie, he has literally said, cruelty is bad. Cruelty is maybe bad, and cruelty isn't bad, and I don't care. And actually, I would rather you didn't torture. I don't think it's good to torture. So, sorry. Oh, yes, no contradiction whatsoever to be found. It must just be my emotions, meaning that I'm hearing these contradictions. Okay, yeah, my bad.
Chickens to stop eating chicken, to answer your question.
Okay, you just say you can care about chickens and do what happens to them in order to get KFC, and those things they're in harmony. Caring about chickens and buying KFC are in harmony.
Yeah.
Then I think it's a complete contradiction. You can't care about, like, even for you, Tristan, like, you can't care about animals being tortured while you're paying for their torture. Like,
I mean, I buy a lot of alligator skin shoes. I know how cruel those alligator farms are.
Yeah, and that's nothing to do with food.
And I like alligators.
Wait a second, brother. Yeah. Brother, that is a very good point, actually, because you wear cows as well.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with eating.
I do wear cows. Well, it's a human utility. So, everyone needs leather.
Yeah, but it's interesting. But no, we don't need leather. Obviously, there are other ways of there are other fabrics.
They're synthetic fabrics today, but they haven't existed for very long, and you know that.
Yeah, but they exist now. But my question to you is because I'm not trying to do a gotcha or anything, but this is actually just a bit different.
Because I said food. If you're going to eat them,
you said it's fine to be cruel as you basically want, so long as you're getting food from these animals.
Yeah. Everyone needs leather.
I'm not misinterpreting what we said.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
The shoes.
That's why I have like leather everywhere. I just need it. I need leather.
Made out of, say, cow's skin
or alligator leather.
That's not food. That's their skin. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we're using the end product. We raised the cow to be an end product. So I did say food, but this isn't a gotcha moment, because if you want to kill, because the cows that are killed for leather aren't eaten. Everyone knows that. It's too expensive to raise them. It's too expensive to raise the cows with the high quality hides. You have to have them at certain elevations to make the car seats in, for example, a Bugatti or a Rolls Royce. And they don't eat the meat because it's not financially viable to cart them off and then chop them up because it's too cheap. I mean, they usually don't eat the meat. Let's say the cows are completely discarded. Yeah, fine. You raise the cow for leather.
So it's fine to kill
for leather.
I wear alligator shoes because I can.
For their skin.
100%.
And in India, where they trek them across like long treks and they're suffering,
put chili in their eyes.
Leather. It's fine to buy that leather. Just animals suffering like really horrible lives just for leather. Yeah.
Yes.
And when calves are skinned and like little calves are skinned for their calf skin, that's fine too. Baby cows, just to wear them.
Yes.
Even though there's like other options available, that's all cool.
I mean, there are other options available, but I don't think you have a pair of shoes as cool as my alligator skin shoes. I think my shoes are better than your shoes.
Oh, because it's cool. Oh, it really impresses all the boys who watch me. Oh, He's just coping. This is painful. I can see why Nutriball wants to turn it off.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
They are
Jeffrey
super
Dahmer
cool.
had a pretty nice.
They are
Jeffrey
super cool.
Dahmer had some pretty nice human skin shoes. I don't know. I wouldn't be seen dead in like a pair of human skin shoes. Like,
Of course not.
Like,
but
so,
Yeah, who was that dude that made a really cool mask out of someone's face? Oh, really cool. No one else had that. Okay, what about those like human skin lampshades you can get? Very cool, very impressive.
Right, the same thing. So here we are back at square one. I like my alligator skin shoes, and raising. In fact, an alligator skin is exceptionally
What a
cool because they
baby.
have to raise them to be the exact same size. No good pair of alligator skin shoes is made from one alligator. You need two because you need the patterns on the front to be exactly the same, and they're killed at a specific age depending on what your shoe size is, depending if you get them custom made. So it's particularly cool. But I like my alligator skin shoes. That's what the alligators are raised for. The alligators weren't happily walking around in the wild when someone saw them and said, "I'm going to make a pair of shoes out of this guy." You know what they did was they farmed them, they raised them, they made my shoes, and I love the end product. And I do not feel sorry for those alligators at all.
So,
I never will.
Basically, as long as we get pleasure from the action,
As
or
long as
some
we
kind of
get
satisfaction,
some goods from the action.
some goods from the action.
Just saying he's filled with guilt and shame over his past get a life, little Joey. If you're talking about Joey, well, yeah, I could see why someone would be filled with guilt and shame if they were a gang member. Just like Tristan should be filled with guilt and shame that he's probably guilty and responsible for a lot of really horrible crimes. If he gets charged with, like, actually goes to jail for those things, he did do those things, then yeah, he should feel a lot of guilt and shame. And he should feel guilt and shame that he doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. He really should. At least Joey feels guilt and shame. You know, these very helpful responses in the body that like direct you in a better route. You know, it's much better. It's good to feel guilt and shame because that helps you to grow. Now, maybe you could just carry on being a little troll in a comment section and not grow as a person. I don't know if you're familiar with growth, but you know, we can see, hey.
We can
Gelatin, bone
essentially
marrow,
do
skin, leather. I'm down with it.
anything we want to, like, so if I actually had, like, if I had an animal right here on stream, I could have an animal right here. So it's the cows are highly sentient beings like dogs.
Yeah.
They care for their young. They experience all the basic experiences we do as human beings.
Yeah.
We might have a, you know, some intelligence over cows, but
Some.
but most basic experiences.
I have a
yeah,
lot.
no, we might. Well, at certain, well, there are human beings that. Well, how about this? There are human beings that have about the sentience of a cow and about the experience of a cow, and they're born like that. We protect them with human rights.
Made in the
Right,
image of
so
God.
Okay, yeah, but if they weren't made in the image of God and that you couldn't tell them apart from other humans, would it be okay to skin them alive and make shoes out of them?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have a distinction between animal life and human life. We've been over this 100 times. You're saying that I think we should be able to skin people with mental deficiencies to make shoes out of them, and that's my argument because it's
Well,
not.
how about this? How about if these human beings were just they weren't made in the image of God, they were farmed, and we were somehow creating a farm of human beings.
Okay.
So they're not made in the image of God. They were like we were creating them, and you couldn't tell the difference between like us and them in terms of our experience, and we're basically hominids, you know. And these people existed on this farm. It's fine for me to torture them because they're not made in the image of God.
If you can't distinguish between human life and animal life, then I feel very sorry for you. Because I'm
No,
a
I mean, like,
father,
I'm just
I have kids. My daughter.
Yeah, it's quite clear that there are differences. There are differences between a dog and a cow. There's differences between a cow and a human, but what's the morally relevant difference that means that it's justified to stab these animals, to gas them, to torture them? Oh, well, oh, by the way, torture's bad. Oh, by the way, no, it's actually fine. Oh, by the way, I don't know. What's going on? What's going on, Tristan?
Is maybe not as smart as a dog. She's only 2. Do I think
why
that
is
you should be able to
intelligence
make
mean anything?
shoes out of my daughter? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't think
No, not your
anyone.
daughter.
Well, I
I'm
don't think
creating a hypothetical.
Well, no.
I'm just-
We're not hypotheticals because we live in the real world, don't we? I've given lots of hypotheticals, but I don't like to go down the hypothetical route. I said if I could kill animals without torturing them and without being.
Yeah, people don't like to go down the hypothetical route when they don't have an argument, okay? Because it challenges their position. As soon as you find yourself going, oh, I don't really like hypothetical, but I don't really like hypotheticals in general. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's how you know there's a bit of discomfort happening in one's own position. It's a bad place to be. Oh, I can understand, but unfortunately, it's not looking very good.
Cruel, and it would be ideal if they could all live wonderful lives. I can give hypotheticals too, but we live in the real world. We live in the world of supply and demand. We live in the world where third world.
Yeah, I thought he knew reality. Yeah, hypotheticals test the robustness of your arguments in the real world. As long as they're analogous, the hypothetical, as long as it's analogous, then it translates directly to reality and the reality of the consistencies of your position. Oh, but he knows reality. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
they're trying to make the best living they can by raising animals as fast as they can in as big numbers as we can, and it's fine. It's really fine. I believe it's fine.
You don't eat animals for third world people, that's for sure. You eat animals because you like the taste.
Yeah, don't
and
even
it's for
try.
pleasure and things like that. But
Absolutely.
I was just creating a hypothetical to test this. I'm trying to test. It's just a consistency test, by the way. It's just like trying to test whether or not if there were human beings that weren't made in the image of God and we sort of created them, because this is actually logically possible.
So if I made a human farm.
If I made a human farm, basically they're my human beings. Is it okay for me to cut them up? That you couldn't distinguish them from.
Well, this is actually, you know what? This is actually a very, very interesting point. This is a very interesting point. And we are as humans going down this road. So we might find some common ground here. Because people are talking about raising humans that are, for example, they'll take your DNA code and raise a human without the brain or mind or consciousness or whatever, so that you could have access to that human's liver or heart or, I don't believe in that case. No, humans are humans, and I don't believe that we should be doing that. I believe humans are made in the image of God, and I don't believe if you started a farm raising humans for organ transplants, which is an area of science that is being explored right now. Do I think that's right? No, I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe in harvesting the body parts of babies who are 8 months or 7 months old when they're aborted to take their tissue and their skin and their bones and run human experiments on. No, I think that's all morally evil because humans are human.
Lucas Fajardo the Lat tipped £1. Andrew, if you ever came to realize you had no good reason to be convinced that humans are created in the image of God, would you then be convinced that it would be okay to slaughter humans for their flesh?
That is a good question, hey. One to ask him, okay? He's actually streaming right now. For people who don't know, if you look up Tristan Tate, you'll see that he's streaming. He's on YouTube and he's on Rumble. So if you want to go ask him that question, Lucas, very base. Thank you. Can we get some salads in the chat? Thank you to anybody who tips. I appreciate you supporting my work. Goes a long way. Thank you.
These are animals, and I'll always have a distinction between them.
But I was just trying to create this scenario so that they weren't actually made in the image of God, to see if that was actually the trait.
Every human is created in the image of God.
No, because if we created them, they're made in our own image, so we could farm them to be slightly genetically different.
I created my daughter. In fact, humans have been farmed to be genetically.
What is this? What is this?
Different. Humans have been farmed to be genetically different. There was selective breeding programs.
They wouldn't be technically made in the image of God, would they? Then, Tristan.
See, you're going down a road that just it's a dead end. They are humans. If you
I'm just trying to find out.
So I'm the descendant of African American slaves. African American slaves were the product of eugenics programs, of breeding programs, where they got the biggest, strongest slaves and the biggest, strongest women, and interbred them to create bigger, stronger slaves. And it was all a big market, and that was completely wrong. And there's been slave trades everywhere. North Africa being one of the world's largest, China, the United States. The slave trades have existed all over the world. If you're saying because I think it's fine to farm cows that I think it's fine to farm people, I'm never ever going to agree with you. Humans are humans, and animals are animals.
No, that's the thing. It was trying to say you don't find it correct, probably. So what's the morally significant difference? He's just trying to find out how you classify as humans, because loads of people say human though when they're talk about sapiens, when they're talking about the entire ancestral history of what a human is. We're talking about Australopithecus, that's human as well. Some people would just kill a Neanderthal and just be like, no, that's not the current human being. We need to find out what it is that you actually mean by human, so we know what your position is. I
don't know if you think that. I'm trying to find out whether you feel that if this trait made in God's image didn't exist, in some hypothetical, whether you would think it's okay to do what we do to animals to those hypothetical humans.
You'll never convince me that is a scenario that exists. It can never exist. Every human is made in the image of God.
I wonder if he then believes in God. He probably doesn't believe in evolution, right? But if he does believe in evolution, he believes the existence of the Neanderthals. Would he have them perpetually farmed? Would he have aliens farmed?
Well, basically, we can do this. We did with these animals that exist right now. They're selectively bred. They're not made how God made them. They're human created animals. You know about the pigs and the chickens and the cows and the dairy producers. They're all human selectively bred freak shows at the moment.
Yeah.
This is eugenics, genetic manipulation that humans have done to these non-human animals. In fact, being a chicken is just a life of suffering because they're too big to hold.
Lucas Fajardo the Lat tipped £1. Can we just talk about the fact that Andrew calls slavery wrong, but both the Bible and the Quran support slavery and never say it's unethical or sinful to own humans as property?
Yeah, trying to use the Bible, if you want to use the exact words of the Bible as the gospel of what's morally correct, I'm really struggling to find how you would be able to then not end up being condemned to say that these horrific atrocities are also morally acceptable because Bible though. I do not understand. Salah's in the chat for Lucas. Lucas just tipping away. Thank you so much for the support.
Of their own weight. Now we do this to animals. It is logically possible, and it's just possible for us to do this to human beings as well, and they wouldn't technically be made in God's image. Is it okay to do what we do to animals in this case, in this hypothetical case of human beings? I'm just trying to figure it out.
Because that case exists all the time, and that case is actually the case right now, right here in the world. If I'm dating a girl because I think she's big and strong and I want to have big, strong children, people make these kind of choices all the time. Are you saying that child is selectively bred and we can use her to make a pair of shoes? Humans are humans, animals are animals.
No,
so I can actually cut it off one step before this. I could cut it off at this step, whereas I think if any weirdo was selectively breeding humans for any reason, then no, humans have free will and free agency, and they should be able to reproduce with whoever they want. If any human is selectively breeding humans, then that's slavery, and slavery is wrong in the first place. So we should never even get there if we care about morals and humanity.
Well, I do care. I just apply the morals consistently.
Yeah, but it's a cow.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they are human or non-human. Like, and in this case, in a hypothetical case, they would technically be non-human like hybrids.
Sorry,
you know?
mate.
So
Yeah.
I'm just asking for consistency in both like places. Obviously, I don't think it's right to enslave animals and decapitate them because I don't see them as morally distinct from human sentient beings. Like, not really. Like, especially when you get down to the sentience of like. Children and that. You know?
I don't.
A child and a pig are pretty like even in terms of sentience.
To
like,
you.
you know, especially like a toddler.
To you.
So I mean,
not to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you might have other reasons to care about human beings. Like,
No,
if it's
no,
a
it
decision between a human and
it doesn't matter if it's a child born in China who I've never seen in my life. Humans are humans, animals are animals. No one in my chat thinks you're coming to a conclusion with this point because this hypothetical scenario you talk about, where you selectively bred humans for thousands of years to create mutant humans. Could you eat them? Could you eat an animal that has some human DNA? I mean, this has never happened, and this isn't the real world that we live on.
Hypotheticals, though.
This is the real world that we live in.
I just didn't believe that being made in God's image was the only morally relevant trait.
No,
it's trying to figure out.
It's not. My argument is that it doesn't have to be morally relevant. Cows and chickens are beneath me, and they're beneath humans, and I don't care. I don't care about cows and chickens in the same way that I care about humans, and I never will. Or crocodiles, or any life form.
Some people have actually
humans are
thought that way
superior.
about human beings as well. They've lowered human beings down and used these bizarre justifications to do horrible things to human beings.
Yeah, I'm the product of slaves myself. I'm the product of the slave trade. My father was an African American.
Yeah, and the like, I don't have to care about a morally relevant difference is something like, if you look at like all these atrocities that have happened to human beings, the excuses that have been used, compare them to what we're doing to other sentient beings, painfully similar. It's basically verbatim. So like these things that follow, is it really a surprise when we're using these same bogus arguments to be like, I don't care though, a difference though, I can't really justify though, money though, capitalism though, because they're not as intelligent though, because all this shit that we just make up to try and make a justification for why it would be acceptable to not give a shit about someone else's subjective experience. Like, hello?
Horrible.
Yeah. So why
exactly.
are you, but why
the human race these horrible?
Yeah, why are you
we have,
trying
like,
to
things like the
correlate these two things? Yeah, why are you trying to correlate these two things with food production?
Yeah, the trophy hunting shit. I want to get to the trophy hunting shit. I really think that should have been like, that would have. I hope it gets there.
I'm saying that what has happened in history,
because the lowest form of every argument is you're Hitler. That's how all arguments dissolve into. And now you're talking about the Holocaust.
No, I'm saying that these things happen in history. There's been.
Oh,
I'm saying that the mindset.
He's trying to drag it there so hard. Like, Jerry's like probably thought, yeah, I'm going to avoid that. Okay, and he's dragging it there.
I mean,
yeah, and that's morally wrong.
Where we say these beings don't matter because of X.
Well, who says that?
And basically,
God doesn't think that.
Well, people with these kind of
how the hell do you
animals
know?
Are obviously sentient beings. You know they can experience torture and suffering and experience the world. They have a subjective experience. If I harmed an animal, everyone knows that that's animal cruelty. That's wrong because they're having their own individual experience. And what people tend to do is they go, they're below me because of X reason, because they're not made in God's image, or they're not throughout history, and it's what humans have used to justify harming other humans. And
yeah, I know it's a bad mindset. I agree, that's a bad mindset. So where's this going?
So wait, you agree?
Well, I'm just asking to apply like
to cows.
Wait,
to chickens?
Did he just agree that it's a bad mindset, the one that he applies, or?
It's not consistent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you might think it's stupid, but I don't see a cow as any different to other sentient beings. Like, I don't see them as any real difference in terms of their suffering.
And there we go. You don't see a cow's different. That's what I said. Do you believe that human lives and animal lives are exactly the same?
So you see that? No, that's completely like unfair. Like, he knows that he thinks they're different. Okay, but he's trying to.
In terms of how they experience like a knife in the throat, it's just as bad for that cow as it is for like a child.
So
I think they're both wrong.
So
that's the food chain. Sharks don't care how I feel. They bit me in half either.
Food chain.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't think what sharks do is like ethical. I wouldn't.
Where's the food chain?
You know, sharks, they eat other sharks, and lions eat other lions' cubs, and horrible things happen in nature. I would never point to nature and say that's an ethical way of us living in civilization. Obviously, that would justify us killing each other and eating each other. Cannibalism happens in nature.
Look, cannibalism's wrong. And if you're going to ever try to drag the argument of humans are in some way equal to animals, so we shouldn't treat humans this way, so we shouldn't treat animals in this way, if that is going to be the baseline of this last 10 minutes that you keep going on about, that's never going to be a conclusion that someone like me is going to reach. And it's not going to be a conclusion that any healthy person is going to reach either.
It's funny you talk about any healthy person. You're the person with the unhealthy mindset. You're the person who says you don't give a fuck when you see another individual suffering. But then you said you did. Like, who knows? If you really don't give a fuck, there is actually something kind of wrong with you, and you should go see somebody about that, because there's something in your the neurons aren't firing off. They're not firing off. They should be firing off.
But it's just that we share.
Is going to ever think that ever. So I mean, you keep looking for. I don't know what you're looking for me to say. I don't know if
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what you fundamentally believe is like
killing humans is wrong. Killing animals is fine. That's what I fundamentally
Yeah,
believe.
exactly,
That's it.
exactly. I'm trying to figure out why, because to me that's a contradiction. Because for the same,
I'm not
I'm
telling
trying
anyone
to
else
figure
it
out why
isn't.
you think it's okay in this case and not.
Most people disagree with you because they are.
But most people don't think killing dogs is okay. Like, but you
What
think
does it matter what most people think? Most people at the time, he was talking about slavery. Like, most people thought that was acceptable at a given time. If 51% of people turn around and thought that was acceptable, like, would that just make it acceptable? Most people do. Like, so fucking what? You don't want to appeal to the majority. Like, you want to actually look down whether or not it's consistent.
absolutely fine.
I think if someone wants to kill their dog, it's fine by me. I'm not going to tell them not to. It's their dog.
And
I mean, that's an insane bullet to bite, and I'm glad he's bitten it.
and in the case of like these animals in poaching that you brought up as well, you have an issue.
Here
with,
we go.
Trophy hunting. It was.
It's not so much an issue. So we might find common ground because I'm glad that's over because I'm never ever going to correlate animal life and human life.
Okay.
That's just not a conclusion that I'm going to reach, or I don't think any healthy person is ever going to reach.
You don't even
So
need
fishing
to.
for something down that well is always going to be non-productive. Not that you'd go fishing. Vegan joke there.
No,
I'm hilarious.
It's a bad joke.
I thought it was quite funny. I thought it was funny.
No.
Okay, fine. Yusuf
I
laughed.
wouldn't go fishing for humans, that's for sure.
My tech guy laughed. So that was a good joke. Trophy hunting. I think that trophy hunting is unfair.
Bellissimo. Unfair, but someone's done it for their enjoyment. Someone's done it for their pleasure. Someone wanted to. I thought early, you said, oh, I really want my alligator shoes. I know it's really cruel, but like, I really want my alligator shoes, and like, I want my food, and it's necessary to get the food in order to get the food. Oh. Delectable, absolutely gorgeous. You're just fantastic. That is what I needed. That's like a supplement. That's like 10 supplements at once. Oh, we're in clown world. Oh, I love it here. I love it. Thank you so much, vegan fascist. What a militant vegan fascist. Disgraceful. Thank you.
I like predators. I respect bears and lions.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you love predators.
Sharks. I respect elephants.
Too soon?
I respect them because they're mightier than the human. If I could subdue an entire population of cows and have them run across a field because I have a dog chase after them and I could raise them for food, good. I made the cows. I created the cows. Going out there and shooting elephants, I don't think is a fair...
Wait, you made your kid, right? Oof. Can we get some salads in the chat? Thank you so much for your $10 super chat. Thank you. Thank you to anyone who supports.
Fight. And I think that vegans and people like me should get together and say, let's change the rules of trophy hunting. So you have to fight the animal.
Well, why would any of this fucking matter?
In a fair way.
Well, do you want to fight the pigs? You want to fight the... I've been in these pig farms, okay? And then when you have them getting, like, all startled and they're running about, like, it could take you out. Like, a cow could take you out. They just decide not to because they're not cunts. You know, like, unlike some people. Do you know what I mean?
Is that an improvement?
Fist to fist?
Is that an improvement on shooting them with guns? No, I think depending on what the animal is, we should use different weapons.
What is this?
I mean, fight a lion with your bare hands, or fight an elephant with your bare hands?
Well, I'm saying, like, if someone says to me, these big fat Americans usually, sorry Americans if you're listening, but it's usually you. They take these pictures next to these lions with their rifle, like they're some sort of champion. No. If you want to go fight a lion, I think you should have, I don't know, a sword and a shield, or a suit of armor and 2 knives. Because then at least if you do it, I can respect you. If I walk into someone's head and they have a lion's head mounted on the wall, even me, I'd be a bit like, well, what did you do that for? And they'd be like, well, I shot it from 6 miles away with this high-powered rifle. Hunting's natural.
And you'd be hypocritical for asking them as if it's some sort of like, why did you do that?
Hunting may be natural, but your gun certainly isn't. 2 knives, suit of armor, go and kill the lion. Because that way, if I walk into your house, you've got a lion's head on the wall, and you're covered
Why are you talking about nature now? The animal agriculture is not natural.
Scars and bruises and cuts. I'd be like, you're the fucking man. That's impressive.
Oh, this is masculinity. Look at that. Let's just take that off. We got masculinity. I guess he's brought up nature as well. Why are my pens dying? Nature. We got nature. Okay, cool. Like, we're getting through. Look at that. Jesus Christ.
At least agree that we should change the rules on weaponry. Because fewer people would do it.
If someone fights a lion with their bare hands and wins, and I think they deserve some kind of medal because that's like an unheard of thing.
Good. So let's agree that we need to change the rules.
So should we change the rules on like factory farming as well? Because we seem to use like when
No.
like these beings can't escape, we bring
Nope.
them into these prisons, and then we send them into like slaughterhouses where they can't escape. And like, don't you think we should change the rules there too?
Nope. I think nope, not at all. I think if you could somehow viably run a lion factory farm or an elephant factory farm, all credit to you. If you manage to pull that off, well done. So no, I don't think we should.
How about this?
Go
How
on.
about this, Tristan? We liberate all of the animals in the factory farm situation, the cows, the pigs.
I'm
chickens,
trying to fight people on Twitter while doing this on separate issues.
the lambs,
Nope.
and even the ones that are going to the slaughterhouse.
Veganism's a
And
full-time
the only
job,
meat
yo.
you eat is if you fight a lion with your bare hands and win.
No,
How about that?
no, that's just stupid.
No?
Why do I need to fight a
Why?
lion with my bare hands and win to enjoy a bucket of KFC? I think you know
Because, it's unfair.
the entire
Because it's
ecosystem.
unfair.
The entire ecosystem. No, it's fair. It's fair. The man killing the chickens is perfectly entitled, and he created the chickens. I'm not against lion factory farms. By the way,
I thought
Okay,
God
cool,
created.
you
Wait
want-
a second. I thought God created the animals one, and we're not even eating animals that were created by God two. If you're a God-fearing like a Christian, these animals are created by human beings and they're genetically bred freak shows.
So is
Isn't
every
this like the
vegetable.
work of the
So is
devil?
every fruit.
Isn't this?
So is every fruit and every
Fruits
vegetable.
aren't sentient. God created animals to feel pain and suffer with a brain and a central nervous system and all that. If you believe that, why did God create animals to suffer and also experience well-being and happiness and
Your
good
argument-
feelings?
your argument
but
broke down
want
in your
us to
first-
factory farm them.
Your argument broke down in the first 5 seconds because you're saying, oh, it's unnatural because these animals are created by humans by selective breeding. So is every vegetable and fruit that you eat. Everyone.
No, but
Almost without
I'm
exception.
talking about sentient. I'm
Sentient
talking about the
beings.
beings that matter morally, like sentient animals. You know, I'm
Apple,
saying that
chicken, apple. I don't care.
God created
It
apples.
doesn't matter if you don't care or not. There is a difference between them. I don't care. Human or spring onion. I don't care. Okay, good for you, I guess. Like,
Not to suffer, no brain, no central nervous system, no pain receptors, no eyes, no. So there's no nerves. So you can obviously that seems like something you can eat without causing them any pain and suffering.
Yeah, but I don't care about chickens. I know chickens suffer.
But we didn't. What I'm asking is, you talked about the Bible and about animals being in the Bible that we can eat, right? But these animals are nothing to do with God. These animals are human, selectively bred freak shows. It's more like the work of the devil. We're talking about like, suffering modes.
We know it's the work of man. You know the devil didn't build the factory farm, and the devil didn't create the modern day chicken.
do you believe it? This is God. If you looked in a factory farm and seen a bunch of chickens suffering on their faces and overgrown bodies, would you say that's the work of God?
No, it's the work of man.
But so men can do evil things. Not, I thought if you believe in like God, and
It would be evil. It would be evil if you did it to people. Chickens, I don't care about.
So it's only basically anything bad that happens to animals is not.
I want to know if he'd kill Neanderthals, but he probably wouldn't even sign off on Neanderthals having existed. So it's just painful to go down this religious route.
Evil and not the devil's work. It's human work. But anything bad that happens to humans is the devil's work. Yeah.
You started this by saying that you are no, not everything bad. If an alligator eats me, that's not Satan. That's nature. And
I'm
if I
talking
could-
about
if I-
factory farms, like just looking at the footage, right? Because anyone can go watch factory farm footage right now. They can go look at my investigations in my Uncovered series. They can look at that, right?
Yeah.
And just if you're a religious person, like say you're Muslim, you're Christian, whatever, look in that factory farm, look in that slaughterhouse of the suffering and the animals dying in their own blood, and go, is that God or the devil?
Well, I think you're falling on your face here because we started this argument with you saying that you don't believe in a God, and now you're trying to say, oh, but it's wrong what happens to chickens. So is that the devil? And now you're invoking the devil on man-made farming processes, which feed millions of people worldwide, and I'm very grateful for them. And that's the
I'm
work.
just saying-
It's the work of man. And I love
Tristan,
chickens.
I'm just fitting the beliefs of others because in Islam, actually, you brought up Islam before, but in Islam, there's actually like a little bit of something about animal welfare in their
Yep.
religion where they believe that causing animal
Alhamdulillah.
suffering and cruelty is haram, right? And I speak to Muslims quite a lot, and
Great.
we have actually quite productive discussions.
Wonderful.
Now they at least believe that causing animal suffering and cruelty is wrong, is morally wrong, and it's haram. You can't eat that flesh, right?
Are you a Muslim?
No, I'm not a Muslim.
Why are you
I'm not
invoking
a
their
Muslim.
Why are you invoking their arguments here?
Because
I live with a Muslim.
you brought up.
I live with
you
two.
brought
There's
up,
one right here.
Yeah,
next to me.
wait, you're not even Muslim, but you've invoked their arguments. Oh, cope. That was cope.
Yeah, I know Andrew's a Muslim as well now. Okay, but what I'm saying is that you don't even believe that causing animals
Yeah, it's
cruelty in
puffing
factory farms
skin.
is wrong, and you brought up Islam before and said, oh, they just slit the animals' throats, right? And you believe that's a good way of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying
one
is
more time.
in Islam,
Just going to
you can't even
advocate for dog
you can't-
meat for a second.
Every point.
Factory farms are.
See, I feel like when I said there was never going to be any debate, I think every point that you've tried to raise, we're just going back to things that I said within the first 20 minutes. If you can kill them as humanely as possible, that would be good.
You said you didn't give a fuck. God, you're all over the place, honey. Oh,
That's
babe.
what I
So
said
if you-
an hour ago.
So factory farms are bad because
No.
they cause the animal suffering. Yeah.
No, they're not bad.
So it's just morally factory farms are morally neutral, but cutting an animal's head off without them being cruel.
Is better.
Quote,
It's better, yeah.
is better.
Yeah.
So
sure.
one is good, which is cool that they're suffering.
It's all good. I can get food everywhere in the world that I want. And factory farms are part of the supply and demand food chain. It's a wonderful thing that we can feed all these people on the planet. It's a wonderful thing that there are fewer people starving and dying of hunger than there ever was before at any point in human history. That we've managed to take many people in the third world, especially in modern day China, thanks to factory farms, and take them out of poverty. And
Isn't there more poverty and world hunger now because of the population increase? I thought it kind of chilled out for a little bit, but then it increased again. I thought that was the case.
Give them the ability to eat food, mainly meat, every single day. I think it's a wonderful thing, yes. And you'll never change my mind otherwise. Factory farms are fine by me. And I know what goes on, and I've seen them, and I don't care. It's a chicken. It's a chicken, bro. Seriously.
It's funny. He said he'd debate anyone with opposing viewpoints, and he's just coping. He's just I don't care though. I don't care though. But I don't care though. What the fuck then?
I just don't care.
But you don't. No, you do. You can't say that now because you did care a little bit enough to.
You
cared enough to stop me torturing them. You cared enough.
Yeah, you cared enough to stop torturing them. You cared enough about the trophy hunting context, even though, if you look at the reasons people are doing them, they're doing them for the same reason. The outcome is the same. Hello.
Stop me torturing them.
You said it was unfair.
The chicken torture scenario.
Well,
you did care a little bit. I see a glimmer of empathy in you, bro.
You like hypotheticals, and if you're going to torture chickens after this feed and message me that you're torturing chickens, I'm going to turn my phone off and go and live my life. You want to do that? That's fucked up. But go right ahead. What am I going to do? Drive over to where you are and tackle you to save the chicken.
If I'm doing it for a bucket of chicken, isn't that fine with you? That's what I was.
If
that's what I thought your position was.
Yeah, factory.
Vegans ends the lap tipped £1. Tash just went on Piers Morgan. Really want to see your reaction to it.
Did she? Oh shit. I mean, if it stays lit in here, I will watch that for sure. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you so much for the
chicken
tip.
thrust tweet is completely fine.
Okay. Well, okay. Should we do some finishing statements, or do you want to continue? Is there any other roads you want to go down with? I don't know if you believe
there were generally no roads I wanted to go down at the beginning of this. I think I said at the beginning that this wasn't going to be a debate because I'm not an uninformed person who's going to hear what you have to say and go, oh my God, wow. Oh, wow. Maybe I should stop eating meat. I know all the things that you know already. And eating animals is perfectly fine. I don't care about animals like I care about humans. Humans are morally superior. Humans were given dominion over this earth by God, and we were created in God's image, and humans are sacred. So all of your arguments about, what if humans were farmed in this way? And, animals, what if I just tortured them for fun? That's not what I do. I'm not the guy who says it's fun to torture animals, and I love torturing animals, so I'm going to debate this vegan. I'm a guy who has a healthy relationship with food and a healthy relationship with meat. I understand where it comes from, and I simply don't care about a chicken like I do about humans.
Really annoyingly, I accidentally clicked on Super Chat and it will not let me come. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, I was trying for ages.
So there was never really a debate in the first place, but your fans insisted I debate you. But I don't really see where we disagree because I know the things you know.
What do you mean that you don't see where we disagree? You think that it's morally acceptable to kill alligators and skin them just because you want alligator shoes? You think cruelty to animals is bad, but then it's fine, but then you don't care, but then you do care, but then trophy hunting's unfair. Who knows what you really believe? Do you know?
Yeah, well, we disagree on that animals have no value whatsoever and they're beneath us and we can do what we want to them.
Oh, animals
wear them and eat them.
Animals have value. I didn't say animals have no value.
Can we talk about masculinity for just before you? I don't know if you want to keep going down this road, but I just want to know what your views on masculinity are.
This is actually probably a good thing.
My views on masculinity.
The reason I'm asking.
Go ahead, please. I'd like to know the reason you're asking, because if it's about chickens,
no, it's not a trap.
I mean,
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what you. It's make it. I'm just trying to figure out.
I don't mind if it's a trap.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna say that because it's not a trap. I'm not masculine. That's your opinion. It's fine. I don't care.
No, I just want to figure out because, in my view, do you believe, basically figuring out whether or not you think being masculine is being a protector or helping the vulnerable, those that are we perceive as you perceive animals as below you. They're basically at our mercy. We can do what we want to them. These birds, they're very fragile. They are tiny. We can crush them with with our boot.
Yep.
Do you think that it is eating these animals is form of masculinity, or does it make you more of a man or anything like that?
No, I don't believe that. I'm not one of these guys who says, oh, you have to eat meat to be a man. To be a man, you have to live by your own convictions and you have to stand by your own convictions. I feel like the question is wired in a way, and I don't want it to spiral back down that.
Why live by your own convictions and stand by your own convictions, then by your own accord of the first thing that classifies you as a man, you are not a man. Because you haven't stood by your conviction. You have said something is both bad, good, neutral, don't care. Like, I don't know what the fuck you believe. So apparently, that alone, you're not a man. This is why these shitty definitions don't work. Okay.
Of, but babies and humans are less vulnerable. So, chickens and humans.
Thank you so much, a vegan a vegan fascist. It's literally insane. I mean, it's not coming off like, it's very incoherent. It's not... I'm very confused by it. Okay, so to me, it's just like endless ramblings. There's no clear position that he has here. And it just does seem like copium. Thank you so much for the super chat again. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Salad's in the chat.
I don't want to spiral back down that same toilet bowl. But being a man is about living by your own convictions, standing up and saying, this is what I believe in, being ready to challenge people on their beliefs, being happy to talk to people like I'm talking to you now when a bunch of internet trolls say you're scared to debate veganism, when it's an issue I don't really care about. But being able...
I mean, are you standing by your convictions here? Because that sounds like a lie. I'm not even going to lie. I can't get in your head. I don't know. But you say you don't care, but then you say you do. But then you care enough to come on stream. You're obviously bothered, it seems. So, maybe not.
To stand up, say what you mean what you say. That's what being a man is.
Joseph, how would it be justified to kill others just because of overpopulation? There are other methods you can use to control populations that don't mean killing them, and you don't want to go down the overpopulation route. Arguably, there could be an argument for humans being overpopulated, and say if we aren't currently, hypothetically, if we were, would that be a justification to start hunting us? No. So I don't really know why you're talking about overpopulation as a justification for hunting, but okay.
It's about. I'm not saying you have to go around and stab. Oh, I stabbed a pig. I'm so macho. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do.
What a ding-dong.
Just like punching someone in the face isn't an easy thing to do. You've punched plenty of people in the face, and so have I, I'm sure. But
thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you for subscribing. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. That's very basic.
That's the nature and the reality of the world that we live in. So no, I'm not going to even fall into the trap of saying you have to eat meat to be a man. Because, when I've seen you argue with people look scared of you a bit, intimidated by you a bit. And you stand up there anyway, no matter what someone says. If someone's eating a burger in your face and you say, no, I think this is wrong, and I'm going to travel around the world and say that this is wrong as much as I want to, that is being a man. And credit for you for doing it. If you want to go around the world and preach this for the rest of your life, which I assume you will, then all power to you. But you're never, ever, ever.
I'm a man because I'm going to be preaching veganism for the rest of my life. I'm going to go all around the world and I'm going to preach veganism because I am a man.
Ever going to convince people like me, because there are smart people out there who know everything about the meat industry you do. You can't hit us with...
If you're really smart and open-minded, you will kind of understand, I think, that just saying, oh, you'll never convince me. It could be the case that one day I am convinced that eating humans is justified. Okay, you never know. You've got to be intelligent enough to know that these things can happen, okay? you can't say never, okay? That is quite a claim. Can't say never. You can't do it, okay?
Eye openers. You can't hit us with any weird hypotheticals about non-human humans, because that's just not real.
What do you mean weird hypotheticals? What do you mean weird hypotheticals? See how he slipped that in there? Weird hypotheticals. No, you have a problem with hypotheticals generally in this context. I'm sure he doesn't have problems, and I'm pretty sure I've heard him deploying hypotheticals to strengthen his case. But as soon as there's a hypothetical presented in an area where he's probably not feeling as comfortable, suddenly hypotheticals are a problem. And just to add a weird hypothetical that Joey gave, what was weird about the hypotheticals? I don't understand.
And I'm going to shrug my shoulders. I'm going to hang up this call after we finish amicably saying goodbye to each other, and I'm going to go and eat whatever I like, and you're going to eat whatever you like, and you're not going to be able to change my mind. So be a man, say what you mean what you say, and travel around the world and continue doing it. But you're going to have zero success when it comes to people like me. Yeah, well, I don't care.
Well, that's great. But the thing is, you realize that you're actually strengthening and helping the case for people, because people don't want to be like that. People don't want to be like, oh, I don't care. Because unless they're children and don't realize that that's not a level of maturity. Like, how is it manly to be like, I don't give a fuck. If they die, I don't care. But also I do care. But also I don't care because I'm a man. You've not made a strong case, okay? And if people can just listen to the words that you've actually said, kind of analyze them, see the contradictions, then they're going to be very confused about what your position even is in the first place. They're not going to really have strength in them. I think a lot of people are going to come away and think Joey's done a really good job. Okay.
And Tristan, coming into this, I actually already knew that. I just really appreciated.
Yeah.
I just want to say I really appreciate you having this discussion with me on your platform, because you didn't have to. You didn't have to do anything.
I didn't have to, no.
Even if people say, "Oh, you're scared," you didn't have to have me on your platform with all of your tens of thousands of people watching this right now. I really am appreciative of that, and I'm glad glad that you're not saying, oh, you have to eat meat to be a man or whatever like that. I mean, because I think it's actually pathetic if people think that what you put in your mouth makes you more of a protector or more of a man, or thinks it makes you any less of a man to care about this issue. You're just saying you don't care about animals. I disagree. I do care about vulnerable beings, and that's why I try to protect them. Okay. And if anyone was stomping on an animal, provided like I was in their vicinity, I would rush in and help, and I'd get bashed trying to help an animal from being caught.
Yeah, and a lot of people, especially the guys watching who care about masculinity, a lot of them are going to agree that that's actually the masculine thing to do, to not give a shit and everything like that. That's a very childlike idea of what it means to be a man.
What a ding dong.
Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. You're a salad now. How does it feel? Yeah, if you look at like men, I'm a man, who have been represented in media and everything, what are they doing? They're protecting. I protect women. I protect the weak. I protect the children. I protect the innocent. And if you don't give a fuck, then you're just kind of a weakling. The little, I don't care, children. Like they are not. They're the little weaklings, the little the strong man. I'm preaching I'm the man. That's the one that protects, okay? So really, I'm more of a man than you. Wait, has Joey's ended? Because we're a bit behind. Oh shit, better catch up, yo. I'm a man. Okay, let's go.
Again, if I saw a man stepping on a dog, I wouldn't walk past smiling. So I know we could go down these same arguments.
So wait, you wouldn't? I thought you didn't give a fuck. Oh, it's so confusing. It's really just... Oh, do people want to let... Oh, yeah, no, it has. Shit. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Super chat, the chat. I love meat. Oh, hang on. I have to just let them know. Yummy dog meat. Just let them know. Check out.
Salad.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. Holy shit. You are boring. Boring. Oh, God, the copium. Oh, my God. Thanks for coming. You're supporting veganism and we love it. You're welcome. Vegan, by the way. Can we get some salads in the chat for Vegan Fascists? Thank you so much for another super chat that is very bist. That's very bist. What does that even mean? That's very base. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get through this. Okay.
Arguments again and again and again and again. But I don't think we're ever going to get anywhere with this.
So
it's just, see all this, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I agree with you. Oh, it's trying to like, it's trying to soften the blow, you know, pretending. Yeah. Wait, Joseph, what basic point? Sorry, say it to me. In fact, you can come on right now if you want. Do you want to come on right now? What basic point do you have? Email me vegangaze@gmail.com if you've got a basic point. I'll come refute it on stream right now. Is that what you want to do?
I just was trying to figure out your views on masculinity, and if you're saying it doesn't make you more or less of a man to what about if you got to eat steak to be a man, you know, eating steak is man.
Yeah, Joseph, debate me right now. If nobody in here can refute a basic point, you want to come on? I'll put my email right now. Vegan Gaze. Email me. Say you're the one that has something that I can't refute. Go on. Oh yeah, come on in. Yeah, email that right now. I'll open up my Gmail. You can come in. If nobody can refute this basic point, just come on in. You're gonna do it. Nobody can refute it. Come on, Joseph. Come on, be a man. Be a man, Joseph. Be a man. Come on. Come on. Are you gonna do it? Nobody. I'll write down your claim, okay? You gonna come on? Don't be scared, Joseph. It's okay. Okay? I'm just a 5'4" weak soy girl cuck, okay? I'm just a big old pussy, because you are what you eat, hey. It's just humans participating in nature. Okay, I'm shaking in my boots. I'm scared, okay? I'm really scared of this claim. So come on right now, okay? I'll check my email. Are you there? You're not there. What's happening? Oh, what's happening? You're going to email me? Nobody can refute the basic point. Where's he gone? Where's Joseph gone? Wait, Joseph? Oh, why do they always go quiet when I tell them to... Joseph, I miss you. Joseph. Us to Joseph. This seems like, I don't know, maybe you've suddenly gone to the toilet. So, maybe something's happened. But you said no one could refute the basic point of eating animals is just humans participating in nature. Okay? I've invited you to come on right now. Okay? We talk about it right now. You would make a song and dance. Nobody can defend this, refute this basic point. Come on now. If any of you, right, any of you coping in the comments, okay? If any of you want to come on right now, okay? Veganism bad. Come on, show me your position. Write it in the email. And I'll have you on. Just answer the basic question. Just come on. Come on, you are really confident. Oh, you're going to cope, Joseph. You're going to come on. Joseph, I'm very confident in my position. I can talk all about it. I can talk about it with you right now. Let's go talk about it right now. I'm very happy for you to come on right now, Joseph. Come on, email me. Don't be scared. It's okay. I know, very scary. I know. Why won't Joseph come on? Oh, Joseph, come on. Don't be afraid. It's all right. Come on. I'm just going to assume you're coping until you come on. All right. I've got the email open ready. Okay, I'm waiting for you, Joseph. Okay. Oh, you can't answer. Oh, cope harder. I'm only the one on stream inviting you to come on right now, but I can't answer. To talk all about it. I've got the claim here ready to talk to you, Joseph. But you're still gonna cope. It's not working, Joseph. It's okay. It's okay. I'll wait. I'll keep it open, though. I'm holding out hope that you'll stop coping, all right? I've got faith in you, Joseph. Show me. Show me that I'm good to have faith in you, yeah? Come on, Joseph. Right, let's carry on.
Manly or whatever, something like stupid like that. Or if you eat vegan, you're going to be feminized or turn into like
I have
a woman
said
or something
the
like
exact.
this.
Yeah, is a Tate fan going to come on? Like, it's looking like cowardice. I'm not even going to lie, Joseph. I'm not even going to lie. I'm telling you, you can come on right now. And you're just not doing it. Anyone in here a Tate fan?
Said the exact opposite. I saw this fat soy dork standing at his barbecue grill in his Crocs and his shorts with in his low income house, flipping these burgers, being like, "Oh yeah, I'm such a man because I could barbecue." I'm like, you think?
Why would you email me so you can come on right now? You've boldly said, you've made the mistake of saying, "Oh, nobody can refute this basic question." Okay, so I've told you you can come on and talk about it right now. Okay, because you were like, "Oh, nobody can refute this." Okay, well then come on right now. You can come on to stream. I'm telling you to email me so I can send you an invite link so you can come on the stream right now. That's why I told you to email me. Just so we're clear, Joseph. I'm inviting you to come on right now and we can talk about the claim. We can talk about the proposition. Eating animals is just humans participating in nature. We can do that, but you don't want to do it. Why don't you want to do it? Yeah, come on. Garuda's talked to me twice and I wiped the floor with Garuda and he's still, you know. Oh, Alexander, do you want to come on and talk about that? You're not somewhere where you can talk. Okay, well, Joseph, you know what? Come on another time, yeah? Oh, you got my email, all right? We could talk about it another time if you are genuinely not somewhere where you can talk, but I am sure we can have that. I'll keep this, Joseph. I'll keep it safekeeping, and we can talk about that proposition. I'll be happy to talk about it with you. I stream quite often. Happy to talk about it with you, all right? So you just come on when you're ready, and we can go through it. We can go through it in great detail, okay?
Think that makes you a man? Bro, you look like a middle-aged fat lesbian. What's wrong with you? You're not a man.
Let's go, lesbians.
Said I'm
Speak
a
of
lesbian.
which. Oh, that's perfectly timed.
Weenie the lad tipped £3. Joseph is such a weenie. You are what you eat after all, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I'm a giant pussy. Ew, ew. Late sky. Thank you, Weenie. Appreciate it.
If I came into your house and stole your burgers, you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Not that. I mean, yeah. So I've actually said the exact opposite a few times. No, I don't think it's mutually exclusive. But
yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what you can be a vegan and be a man
lesbian's bad.
and protect the vulnerable, protect your family, and if you had to bear arms and go to war and do all these, protect the vulnerable, protect your children. There's a stereotype that just because you care about like other animals that aren't dogs or whatever, that makes you less of like a man or whatever. And I know a lot of your following, they listen to what you say. Like they really do, mate. You've got a huge influence, and people respect you a lot. I look at all of your comments. I look at your following.
Wonderful.
It's massive.
Thank you. People
respect you, and something about you that they listen to. So, I was just hoping that there's some people that listen to you.
Ding dong.
That you might be able to sort of bring them off of this, at least this anti-vegan stereotype kind of thing where people are, oh, if you're a vegan, you're a bitch, or if you're a vegan, you're part of the matrix, or you've fallen for some propaganda, or you're like, that people bring all that shit. It just fundamentally could mean that people just care about the experience of animals that people just don't generally care about. So,
well,
I mean,
it's the exact same point I made about Japanese history earlier. Like people have different passions and people have different things that they fight for. I know you think this is super important and the whole world needs to care. Some people don't care. Some people don't care about the things that I say or the things that I do. And that's the way it is. But no, I think that most people I know who I would describe...
This is Cope again, because he, 1 minute he's saying, oh, I would actually have a problem. I wouldn't just smile if someone were kicking a dog in front of me. But also, like alligators, they can be killed for my shoes. And also, like, I do actually care about the cruelty. I think there's a level of cruelty that shouldn't be done. But also, I don't care, do what you want, infinitely torture them. It's just, what the hell?
As bitches, to use your word. This guy's a bitch because 99% of...
I don't know why people are saying that in the chat. I've got to finish this, so I probably, if you want to go over and check that out, but I'll be in here and I'll probably, hopefully, find some of the Tate stands to talk to. We'll see.
People eat meat, especially where I live. Then 99% of the people I meet are bitches. So I wouldn't say it's mutually exclusive, no. Read, be smart, be a man. Don't be afraid of standing up for your values. Train yourself, become physically strong.
Yeah, but you're seemingly afraid to stand up for your values, though, because you're not being consistent. I'm not clear what the fuck it is you even think. Do you think it's justified to be cruel to them? Do you think it's bad to be cruel? Do you think that they're individuals who are aware that you said, oh, I do think they are of value. Okay, what level is that value? You haven't actually hashed these things out.
Protect and provide for the people who you care about, the people who you care about. I think that's what makes you a man. And if you want to be a vegan, I truly don't care. Which is why I started this off with, this isn't a debate. Because I have no real disagreement on what you're doing.
Tofu va bien.
Tofu va bien, the lad tipped £3. You should get Alexander on the stream too. It seems he's also on the weenie diet.
If there's a non-vegan in here, just email me your position. vegangaze@gmail.com. I'll just put it in the chat right now. vegangaze@gmail.com. If you have an issue, then you don't have to come on necessarily tonight. I don't know how much longer I'm able to be on. But yeah, if you see an issue with this, you want to come on, you think that the vegan position is weak, ridiculous, then come and talk to a vegan soy boy. Okay? That's fine. You do that. Thank you, Tofu Fabienne, for the tip there, and for the tip inside the tip. Many tips, okay? Salad's in the chat. Thank you.
It's been a discussion though, and I think it's been like more than what you thought it might be. I thought you were just going to come in and say you don't care, so it's all fine, I don't care, and then like it wouldn't be. But we have actually got into a more of a discussion than maybe you expected, yeah?
Yeah, my position is that I don't care, and I think I've maintained that quite well. But...
You think you've maintained that quite well? I hope he watches this back and realizes how he really didn't maintain it quite well, because he said the opposite, like completely contradictory statements repeatedly. So, okay.
But yeah, I think that we both know a lot about this topic, which is why I thought I'd sit and talk to you, because I imagine that, especially the people watching on YouTube, I can imagine what your comment section is like. This guy's a meathead, this guy's stupid, this guy is X, Y, and Z, and they thought I'd sit here and be like, what? Animals are treated badly to make my food? Like, I just thought I'll just put it out there. Let's have a nice, reasonable discussion. And we have had a reasonable discussion. There hasn't been a single bad word exchanged between us before this, and I don't imagine there will be after this. I imagine your fans will attack me, though. And my fans might attack you. That's nature of the internet.
Yeah, they probably already are. They're probably look, we both got a...
What a
I want to
ding
get worse than
dong.
you because you've got a much larger following. But
thank you, Linda.
Look, giving me the time to and also
Appreciate the
you watch the gas chamber
subscribe.
footage on my Twitter. I did
Yeah.
that expose. I stuck the I went and risked my life and stuck the cameras in that gas chamber while it had gas in it, and brought out the images from the pigs, the first of its kind in the UK. So you saw that, so you know what goes on. You know that the
I
fact
always
that
have.
is riddled. You know it's riddled with cruelty. You know that it's
Always
if
have.
people care about animals, they should probably care about that issue. It's just that you don't care about the animals. You don't give a shit. You
Most
don't
people
care.
don't.
But if people have any iota of care, then they should probably stop funding that industry. But that's not you.
If that's your final point, then I'll let you finish on that final point without trying to correct you or interject. I mean, obviously, I know that you being on my podcast is me sharing my platform with you. And if you've convinced someone to not eat animals, then more power to you. So, is that it?
Well, Tristan, I mean, that can be it, mate. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me on. And people were saying I was giving you a platform. You have definitely given me a platform. So
Thank you. I'm glad we agree on that. Yeah.
We didn't have to. And look,
Yeah.
mate, if you ever want to, I mean, maybe this is not a good idea because you probably wouldn't care, but if you ever want to come into one of these farms with me when you're in the UK or catch up, have a vegan burger or something like that, then please. I mean, I would love to.
Now you're baiting me. Now you're baiting me.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
get
could
it.
bring you into these places. Like, it would be a good video, mate. Like, you actually see what's going on inside there and have that. And maybe you just go, I don't care still.
I won't
maybe,
care.
Maybe you might.
Isla had me in the first half.
I super don't
Okay.
care. Send me every video you make for the rest of your life, and I will continue to eat meat, as will most of my followers. So,
Yeah, and they'll all look like optically absolutely terrible. Like that's just yeah.
You
Bless you,
share
Joey.
it on your why don't you share it on your platform then and see how many people don't care with you?
well,
Sarah must be trolling. Sarah, do you want to come on and show what value Tristan's been consistent on? Because I don't know. Good luck with this, but can you tell me how it's consistent to say cruelty to animals is bad, but also it's not bad? Also, like, I don't care, but I do have a problem with it. But also, even if it's cruel, I want my alligator. Alligators obviously even more cruel to have alligator shoes because you need more alligators and they need to be a certain size. So, but I don't care because I want my shoes. But it's only in the case of food because it's necessary for the food. But it's not really a gotcha because I know I said food earlier, but actually I want the alligator shoes. Even though you don't eat those. So yeah, so you must be trolling, right? You are trolling. Am I feeding the troll? Because there's no way you're going to be able to say that was consistent position, and that was just one of the segments. So okay, good one. I mean, if you want to come on and show me how, then okay.
but everyone who has any issue and anyone who has any point who they're trying to get across wants to share my platform and they want me to promote their stuff. Now, I'm going to promote the things that are applicable to me in my life and the things I want to share with the world. You share the things that you want to share with the world, and we'll leave it at that. And I wish you a happy and healthy vegan life. And I will continue to keep eating meat. God bless you, Joey. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to continue
Bless
to
you,
stream
mate.
without
Thank
you
you
for a
very
while. Have a nice night.
Take care, mate. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
So, why did I debate Joey Carbstrong? It wasn't really a
Because you don't care.
debate. The only reason I
Yeah, like you steamrolled a couple of times, like when Joey was trying to push back. I think Joey was trying to be nice, so
gave this guy a platform is one, he was very respectful, very kind. I didn't seem to have any problem with anything he
at least
said
he can say that it was respectful. Like at least he can say that about the opposition. I
to
can
me
give him
ever,
that.
despite his fans attacking me for all sorts of various reasons. I just knew that it was very important.
No, before that, he said it was the purpose of food, Sarah. So again, that he contradicted himself. So then he changed it, and then it was like, well, I do want alligator shoes. But then, not for useless fun and enjoyment, you could make the same case that that's useless fun and enjoyment to have the alligator shoes when you could get the shoes elsewhere. It's for his enjoyment that he has the shoes that are made from the skin of alligators. So again, inconsistent position. Okay, so you've just laid it out there and made it even worse for his case. So well done, Sarah.
For vegans
Very
out
good.
there who are usually into cornering people with hypothetical arguments and arguments that don't apply to the real
Yeah,
world.
cornering people with hypotheticals, and it's cornering them with the hypotheticals because the hypotheticals show an inconsistency in the position. That's why it's cornering. If your position is so consistent, you wouldn't be cornered by a hypothetical. You wouldn't be. Like, it wouldn't be so easy to find one. Like, don't get me wrong. I think, I don't know if I can make the claim that I'd say every philosophical position, I'll go that far out, whether you're like a utilitarian, negative utilitarian, a threshold deontologist, there's going to be some sort of hypothetical that would make the position look like a really bad bullet bite. Yeah. But vegans can just do it so easily. With a non-vegan, you can just find so many bullets to bite. It's just too easy to find a hypothetical that makes someone sound absolutely unhinged. And that's the problem. That's why people feel cornered. Oopsie.
or giving people ridiculous arguments like, oh, well, you know, what if your child was used to make shoes, or a version of that, needed to actually encounter somebody in the world who has a healthy mindset, who stays healthy and fit, likes to eat meat, and simply doesn't see the world the same way he does. And, you know, it's fine to see the world.
You don't need to see the world the same way Joe does. I don't see the world the same way Joe does. Like, a lot of people in my chat, we just, like, have things that we completely disagree on. What do you mean? What do you mean? See, again, it's just the little comments he makes while he's having this conversation. You know, oh, these weird hypotheticals. Oh, that you think that humans and other animals are exactly the same. Oh, yeah, you don't think the same way you do. It's just a bit of coping in there, okay? It's just a bit.
In a different way, because I have over 30-something thousand people watching this. And let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm really glad I don't see the way, the world the way Tristan does. That would be very concerning.
All of us, if we spoke about various issues, whether it be politics, wars, weapons, food, we'll all have different opinions, and we'll all see things in a very different way. But I think it is good for the vegans watching this to know that there are lots of people who are smart enough to understand where their food comes from.
Do you think we don't know that? Do you think we don't understand that there's so much that goes into it? Like with the socialization of an action, things that are very clearly uncomfortable for people, they could just engage in or even defend. This has happened with other social justice issues. Do you think we are not aware that we're just showing things and people haven't seen some of this? Okay, but at the same time as well, there are a lot of people who haven't seen it. You know, if you go out and you do this outreach and you show people what happens, they convince themselves that isn't actually something that happens in their country, that isn't something that happens in their town, that isn't actually really something that happens in most circumstances. There's all these ways that people convince themselves these things aren't even happening. So even if they've seen these things, do they take them to be actually the case? Have they connected with it? There's so much more to this than just that. But again, Tristan said he hasn't even really thought this through, and you can see blatantly, yeah, he actually hasn't really thought this through quite a bit. Oh my god, vegan fascist again. Tristan would have played Caucasian in America's honest slavery days 100%. I mean, he is just, it's funny, he talks about getting out of the matrix, okay? Which is hilarious. He's like, oh, you just believe what the society says, you know, you believe that, and that's why you don't have
Salad?
It's funny how he's just sucking, no pun intended, on the tits of the socialized norm. It's really weird how he's just eaten that up, and he can rely on the social norm because the social norm means that he is actually able to get away with saying, I don't care. If it wasn't a social norm, like these other social justice movements, he'd have a harder time and he'd get in more trouble, which, again, he's not scared to do. There's a lot of positions he has that are just very, like, counter to what's seen as, like, correct or seen as something that, like, can get you in a lot of trouble. So he'll take those positions. He's not afraid to do that. But, yeah, you can rely then heavily on, oh, I don't care, to get out of the issue that you have.
A lot of people who understand exactly
Thank you for the
what makes it possible to get the steak and the chicken and the things that they like to eat on their plate. And we think it's perfectly fine, perfectly justifiable, and we simply don't care. So I hope you enjoyed my discussion with Mr. Joey.
Yeah, Joseph, so he's just like, it's tipping from one stream to one stream, but he's not in a position to voice call. I mean, it could well be the case, but how many times have we heard that? And then, you know what's interesting? We'll probably never see Joseph again. He'll probably never come on. It probably won't happen. I mean, maybe Joseph will prove me wrong and we'll have a lovely conversation, or maybe a horrible conversation, and the conversation will happen. But I'm not sure, you know?
Carbstrong. And I finished my cigar and probably 4 cigarettes by now. So that's going to be it. I'm not going
to... So, hang on. Did you say... how many cigars and 4 cigarettes in an hour and a half? Bro, slow down. You're having a heart attack. Jesus Christ. You'll have a fucking heart attack. Straight up. Oh my God. Okay.
Gonna take anyone else on the stream. I have no one else that I particularly want to call right now. It's good.
Okay, well, that was amazing. What's Joey saying about his thoughts?
So yeah, I didn't like, he never pot that we not put. Oh wait, why is he calling me? Yeah, it's just like, I'm just saying you don't care about, like, it's difficult because you never know how someone's thinking. You can never go inside someone's head. and see if
Yeah, chain smoking, he said to make your body strong, and he's killing it with red meat and smoking. How the hell does chain smoking make your body strong? Wow, that's amazing.
they actually do care, and if they're not putting this shell like, because like I was trying to make the correlation to when I was in gangs, and you had to not care. You had to not care. You couldn't be out there doing gangster shit and care. You know, like, my bad. Ignore that call. That's Danny lifting vegan logic trying to call me.
LVL.
Was there a reason you didn't push him on the fact that we don't need animal products at all? As it seemed like his argument hinged on that at first. Like, I don't know, he's jumping around. I don't think he never really stuck on the point that we need to eat animals.
Is he in there?
Yeah, because I mean, I think we brushed. I'll watch it back, Chris, but I'm pretty sure we touched on that. Like, we obviously don't need to eat animals, because I talked about, because basically I made this. It was kind of like a hypothetical thing where I said, like, you have the choice between eating plants. Like, you can eat plant-based foods, or you can torture these animals in like this horrible way and eat them. And I just did it just as a flippant choice. Basically, he never said you need to eat animals to survive. Like, he never pulled out the health card with me. Like, not in a, like, maybe I brushed over it. Maybe I didn't hear him, but I didn't hear it in a very direct way. So yeah, I didn't really hear that from him. I'll watch it back, because it was hard to track myself. I was finding it hard to track. It's like 1 a.m. here, and so, like, maybe you saw things I didn't see.
Wait, 1 a.m. here? How's it? Oh, hang on. There's Joseph.
Because we couldn't even agree on that. That's why. So how am I going to get into agree on
Joseph the Coper
on animal rights? Okay, as an animal rights activist, if we can't even agree on extreme torture, like what? Like most meat eaters, that like, that's why I was trying to talk. The reason if most conversations, right, you start at factory farming, you go to humane slaughter.
He's willing to super chat his cope, but he's not willing to come on live stream.
Right?
Like, he obviously
he couldn't
is
even
coping that
agree
hard.
on that it's wrong to be cruel to animals. Do you know what I mean? Although I guess he didn't care about the shoes. Okay, so Chris is saying, he was like, it's okay as it's food. But yeah, we got to that, Chris, didn't we? Then I said, you would wear animals too, so it's not just because it's food. Yeah. So we did get to it. I'll watch it again in back, but someone says, not gonna lie, Joe, you kind of soft. Yeah, because it was a discussion. Like, we're not framed. He invited me on his platform. He had 30,000 people watching. He has 250,000 views on it. It was always going to be framed as a respectful discussion. If you look back to my earlier post.
Yeah, it was like, well, people saying debate, and then it ended up being, I'm going to have a discussion with you. So I can see why it didn't push as much, but
it's about it. Our inboxes about it was always going to be a respectful discussion. And also, I've got 30,000 of his followers watching me. They're watching my every move, right? You think I'm going to start being aggressive and pushing him and and just losing everyone? This guy is like one of the most followed people on earth, right? Him and his brother are the most famous people on earth.
Yeah, it's funny because it's apparently like masculine to like not give a fuck and just like perpetually torture someone. But if Joey came on actually aggressive, then it'd be like, whoa, calm down, man, be a man. Like, this whole like be a man shit is just framed to like whatever like people want it to be. It's not really like, it's like, a man is what I would like a man to be. A man is like me. Like, that's what it is.
A lot of people that respect him, and like, I was behaving myself. A lot of people were watching everything about me. So I mean, and we actually agreed on keeping it civil. So yeah, and if I just come across like this and he's just trying to be polite, and then it's just not gonna. Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to consider, like keeping it conversational.
I mean, like, that's the thing. He wasn't really all that polite. He was being quite dishonest, but he was doing these like little subtle jabs. So it's kind of like he's not being nasty enough to warrant, you know, it's just a little poking. So the aggression wasn't really there, but the poking was.
Making sure we're not interrupting each other, pressing where I can, pulling back where I can. Like, there's all these other things you have to think about as well, because it wasn't your average like debate. It was like it was a conversation. So someone said, what was the intent? The intent was because he agreed to discuss this with me, because he made a post saying that he discusses things with people he disagreed with.
I mean, like, the intent, like, a shit ton of people have been exposed to the message, and he got to bite some nasty bullets there. So I think overall, it's a good one.
Disagrees with. And then I said, well, talk to me about veganism and on my channel. And he said, there's nothing to debate. And everyone was like, oh, you're too scared to discuss it with him. You're too scared to debate him. And then he's like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's just being kind to say he was being polite. He wasn't. He was straw manning. He was assigning positions. I think he accused Joey of assigning a position that he didn't hold, but he did that quite a few times. So I wouldn't say that's polite, but okay.
Fine, I'll do it. And then he gave me his word that he would have me on to discuss it. It was basically, the intent was to discuss the topic to his audience, to see what they think. He might have thought I wanted to convince him. It was more, I kind of knew he wasn't going to be the guy to convince, but I was trying to like see if I can persuade any people in his audience to like come off of these stereotypical views about vegans. So that, you know, there's a lot of they're a huge demographic like his following. Just trying to push him off stereotypical views, trying to get them to at least care about animals in some way, and maybe just if he doesn't care about cruelty at all, maybe some of the people in his stream might be like, wait a second. The goal was to just like try to talk to his audience. So who cares is one of the most common arguments. It's one that you can't really like. What are you supposed to do? Who cares? But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, who cares? So looking through your comments here, just trying to. There's Tristan Tate owns you, little bro. There's a few people coming from his channel. I know you're going to be like a lot of like Tristan Tate like fans in here, just
cry
really
more.
spamming.
What's the argument?
Just be clear, I don't care is not a response to any moral atrocity. If he doesn't consider
By the way, nobody who's been coping in the chat has come on to have a discussion. Amazing.
Moral atrocity, and then you say like he doesn't consider it a moral atrocity because he's like, well, humans are made in God's image, and I'm like, what if there are a subset of humans that we created on a farm that weren't created in God's image? Would it be okay to do that to them? And he didn't track the hypothetical. It's like, well, how do you if he couldn't even like justify his distinction between humans and animals, it wouldn't follow the hypothetical. It's like really hard to like. He just says, I don't care about animals, and it's like, but I can't really tell you why. I can't really justify it. Like,
I wonder what PP's been saying.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. He's just overwhelmed and he can't think straight, man. Maybe, but I think he's
put in the chat.
Like, I think that Joey, like, it's because Joey has an affinity for this like masculinity, like this pseudo masculine nonsense, right? Like that's the problem.
I think
because,
the entire ecosystem. No, it's fair. It's fair. The man killing the chickens is perfectly entitled, and he created the chickens. I'm not against lion factory farms. By the way,
I thought God created. Wait a second. I thought God created the animals one, and we're not even eating.
Okay. At the end, here we are. All right, Joey. Okay, Hail Mary. He's coming in. He's fucking coming in. He's coming in. The comeback. Yes.
Animals that were created by God too. If you're a God-fearing like a Christian, these animals are created by human beings in their genetically bred freak shows.
So is every vegetable. So is every fruit.
Isn't this?
So is every fruit and every vegetable.
Fruits aren't sentient. God created animals to feel pain and suffer with a brain and a central nervous system and all that. If you believe that, why did God create animals to suffer and also experience well-being and happiness and
your argument broke down in your first
factory farm them.
Your argument broke down in the first 5 seconds because you're saying, oh, it's unnatural because these animals are created by humans by selective breeding. So is every vegetable and fruit that you eat. Everyone.
No,
almost without exception.
I'm talking about sentient. I'm talking about the beings that matter morally, like sentient animals.
No, just say the beings that God created. I'm talking about the beings that God created, and you know, like, and even just say like, and you even said yourself, you know, you can't like sort of will away what God did, you know, otherwise like genetically engineered or selectively bred humans wouldn't be made in the image of God. Come on.
Apple, chicken, apple. I don't care.
God created apples not to suffer. No brain, no central nervous system, no pain receptors, no eyes, no, you know. So there's no nerves. So you can obviously that seems like something you can eat without causing him any pain and suffering.
Yeah, but I don't care.
I feel as if like maybe it's like the Holy Spirit
though.
just touched Joey's brain, like no, like as if God's watching this debate and he just couldn't take it anymore, and he's like, Joey, no, Joey, and it's just as if God's just like just. No, there you are. Just say that.
About chickens, I know chickens suffer.
See, this is why it'd be interesting to hear from PP because PP is religious.
But we didn't.
Sarah Anderson can come on stream. You want to come on, Sarah? You know my email. I think I've invited you before. It's getting pretty late, but I mean, if you want a quickie, or you want to come on another time, if you've got a proposition. Let me know, Sarah. I'd happily have you on, but I'm pretty sure I've invited you on before and you said no. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What I'm asking is, you talked about the Bible and about animals being in the Bible that we can eat, right?
The covenant with animals.
But these animals are nothing to do with God. These animals are human, selectively bred freak shows. It's more like the work of the devil. We're talking about like suffering modes, prisons.
No. Yes, Joey, keep going. Keep going. if we are destroying their God-given ends, if we are willing against their God-given ends, is that not an act of evil?
We know it's the work of man. You know the devil didn't build the factory farm, and the devil didn't create the
Maybe he did through us.
modern day chicken.
If you believe in, do you believe it? This is God. If you looked in a factory farm and seen a bunch of chickens suffering on their faces and overgrown bodies, would you say that's the work of God?
puffin.
No, it's the work of man.
But so men can do
You're late. Well, lucky the stream's gonna stay up. Hey.
evil.
Yeah, but is God? Are you abiding by the will of God or by the will of Satan here? Come on, Joey.
Things not. I thought if you believe in like God, and
It would be evil. It would be evil if you did it to people. Chickens, I don't care about.
So it's only basically anything bad that happens to animals is not evil and not the devil's work. It's human work. But anything bad that happens to humans is the devil's work. Yeah.
You started this by saying that you are no, not everything bad. That if an alligator eats me, that's not Satan. That's nature. And
No,
if
I'm
I
talking
could-
about factory farms. Like just looking at the footage, right? Because anyone can go watch factory farm footage right now. They can go look at my investigations in my Uncovered series. They can look at that, right?
Yeah.
And just if you're a religious person, like say you're Muslim, you're Christian, whatever, look in that factory farm, look in that slaughterhouse of the suffering and the animals dying in their own blood, and go, is that God or the devil?
Well, I think you're falling on your face here because we started this argument with you saying that you don't believe in a God, and now you're trying to say, oh, but it's wrong what happens to chickens. So is that the devil? And now you're invoking
No. But just say we're not talking about me. We're talking about you. You believe in a God.
the devil
Yeah.
on man-made.
Oh yeah, the vegan noob. This happens a lot. It does feel, it fills me with tears that like people can hear me talking to them when I address them in the chat until I invite them to debate, and then suddenly they just don't respond to me, and then I'm supposed to, I'm just like, oh okay, well it's only my stream, like talking to you directly, never mind. Hey, fuck me, hey, whatever.
Farming processes which feed millions of people worldwide, and I'm very grateful for them. And that's the
I'm
work
just
of
saying-
it's the work of man.
You could feed people an alternative. You could feed more people an alternative. So do you not think that it is, if anything, more satanic that we will feed animals the plants that we could be feeding humans and allowing them to starve in order to perpetuate the selfish ends and the vices of humanity? Come on.
Interesting, isn't it?
Justify it, we're not made in God's image. I tried to create a hypothetical to test his, I don't know, it's like a consistency test. Or
I've
try
put
to test his
PP's
view,
channel
try to
in
test that it really
chat.
was made in God's image. That was a trait, and like he didn't really play ball with it.
It was a little strange how he was saying that like there is a better way to do it, and you think, well, if you don't care, why is it?
Well, that's what when he said there's a better way to do it.
Yeah, basically that's what.
When I said, "What?" So you're saying that the other way is bad?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Nah."
But that's like.
So I was like, soy and this and that, or do you want to talk about like, I don't know, what's the matter? Yeah, like he didn't really bite on anything. I think I wanted to discuss I was just trying to get this moral question out of the way. Like, what do you think is?
It's still so weird how he like funds dog rescues. I still think that's
Yeah.
weird. Like, why if you don't care? What
Joey lost optically. No, it's quite clear. Like Tristan, though he was trying to steer it a certain way and he was trying to use rhetoric and he was poisoning the well a couple of times there, getting those jabs in, he was biting some wild bullets and he was being inconsistent while doing so. So
Yeah,
I
like
don't know.
I don't care about. I only care about my species. I don't care about.
so if I tortured a dog, it's fine. But if he has charities where he helps the dogs out. Like it's a bizarre because they're like he sees animals as property or whatever. So if they're his property or like it's part of like he cares. But if not, it's fine.
It's like they're an extension.
Became like alien property.
Hmm?
What if we became aliens property? Or something?
He was just not engaged with that kind of thing. Like if I start bringing up aliens, he didn't seem like he was going to engage with anything like hypothetical. He's like, that's not the real world. That's not the real world. Hypothetical is not the real world. So you can't test someone's moral theory with a hypothetical. I mean, I could have went and talked about hypotheticals, the value of hypotheticals for testing your moral theories like for 30 minutes. But I thought, well, why? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover. Especially that, when he did dominate the conversation. Like Tristan, he was just kind of like spouting loads of stuff. And it's then like, oh my God, this is like, what bit do I tackle? And you have to do that in the heat of the moment, which is, a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect him to say God's image, but someone says man is made in the image of God, therefore man can do whatever they want to God's creation. And
You didn't expect him to say the image of God? He really talks about the religiosity a lot. That would be the thing I'd be most like, oh, here we go.
And yeah, but I was trying to ask, like,
Has Sarah answered me in the chat, or is Sarah still ignoring me, by the way? Because Sarah's like responding to everybody except the people who have you noticed that? Or have I missed a comment? I don't know.
trying to ask, these animals aren't even God's creation. Like, these
You want Joe to know you did well? I mean, just go over to his chat. He's got this live stream going right now.
created, like, well, the things that humans have done to animals in order to make them grow super fast and like so that their life is just inherent suffering is nothing to do with like God's creation. Like, this is so.
I mean, if Sarah's gonna ignore me, you know what? I don't usually ban people, but like it's kind of rude, really, isn't it? And it's very sophist behavior, isn't it? So I'll give Sarah about a minute, and if it's conveniently ignoring everything, then I'll just ban Hammer until they email. Yeah, it's quite rude.
And I can't believe he believes in God, but not the devil. Like, he did, like, that's what I was trying to like figure out. Okay, maybe. And he goes, well, you don't believe in God, but I was just trying to fit his like.
Okay, Sarah. Hang on. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, Sarah. If it's late, I'll just write this out for you, just so we can see. If it's late, email V-Gan Gaze. What do I want? What do I want? Email vegangaze@gmail.com with your prop. And come on and talk to a vegan in real time. So I've said it and I've written it as well, okay? Just so we're aware, because you're chatting away, and you did. That was a bit sneaky, wasn't it? Okay, you can conveniently reply to everybody, but the ones like addressing the whole me directly talking to you weren't addressing. So now I'm a bit concerned. Okay. I'm a bit worried. So if you can, email. I will send a completely logical, consistent position. Then you can debunk it. We'll save your email. No, I'm asking you to come on and talk to me, for a vocal debate. So you send the position, then we can set up a debate. That's what I'm asking for, Sarah. Are you clear on what I'm asking? I'm not sure if Sarah's clear. I'm just going to write it. I'm asking you to email so we can vocally debate. So, yes. So, let me know. I'm writing it and speaking it just so I know you've got it. Let me know the position. We can set up a time. I don't know why you're laughing, Sarah, because you've been ignoring. So I've just got to make sure that you are hearing me, okay? Yeah, because it just happens too much, It just happens too much. It's just getting a bit suspicious.
His worldview, because he brought up God, It's
such a hard thing with like when people bring up books. It's not something like they can prove. Like,
then we can't prove or disprove it. Seriously, Joey should have stuck to the scientific nuances of veganism. Like, what are you on about, dude? What are you talking about? The scientific nuances. Veganism is a moral issue to do with the rights of animals. Scientific nuances? Like, what science? I mean, he knows animals can suffer. He doesn't care about us being cruel to him, let alone violating their rights. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, Sarah, if you're trying to stop things that you think are bad, if you are talking about veganism specifically, unless I've missed some context, then yeah, I encourage you to come on here, because then you can have a bit more attention. I'm not saying you'll get loads of attention on this channel. This is a small channel, but you get more than you would just being in a chat. Yeah, he doesn't care, but he cares. Very consistent position.
Yeah, I didn't lose a debate.
Sarah said that he was consistent. So
someone says you lost a debate. How can I lose to someone who says I don't care? It's not a like.
Yeah, I don't know how you can lose.
It wasn't a debate. Like, to be honest, it was a conversation. It was I was trying to find out what his views were. It wasn't really a debate, and it was never framed as one. And like I don't know how you can lose against someone who says they don't care. So, which I already knew he was going to say anyway, because they released a vlog where he said that anyway. So I wonder if Tristan, I can't really find your comment here. Says, I wonder if Tristan supports factory farming, talking non-humanoid aliens. He got tripped up on non-humans that look like humans, but not in God image. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I definitely will be expecting an email from Sarah. I mean, you're typing now, so, you know, Sarah, if I don't get one tonight, I'm going to be a bit suspicious. So, you know my email. If I don't get one tonight, it's looking a bit like a dodge. So, yeah, hash out the position that you have, and then we can sort something out. If it's late today, we'll sort something out another time. I'm quite flexible, so let's sort that out, yeah?
he just didn't want to address it any further, the whole God's image thing. He was like, oh, that's just crazy. That's just not realistic. That's crazy. He does.
Sarah, there's no need to cope. It's all right, Sarah, okay? With some animal toothpaste. It's all right. You don't need to cope, all right? All you have to do is email. Okay? If you don't, I will be very suspicious. And I might have to hammer for the coping, okay? Because there's a lot of coping in this chat.
Yeah, I would say he lacks empathy for sure.
He either lacks empathy or he's pretending to. And both of them are cringe. Yeah, Tasha's just been on Piers Morgan. Somebody tipped me that. Who tipped me that? V-Gan Zens did, but it's getting quite late and I'm gonna have to be quiet. Okay, your email when you wake up. Okay, well, I'll remember that. If it starts, you know, the days start ticking by and I haven't got an email from you though, Sarah, I'll assume we're done here, yeah? Yeah, okay. It's short. Where is it? Yeah, joking. I'm so sorry. I've already said to Sarah that we can schedule one. Let's see.
So long as you eat. It wasn't like egregious suffering and like and horrible animal abuse and dogs being tortured and killed. Like,
Morgan. Okay, yeah.
I mean, if you want to look like that optically, that's like not the best look.
So that. It's 5 minutes long. Okay, all right, fair one. Let's do this quick then.
Back to Piers Morgan Census. Celebrities are denouncing veganism.
There we are.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Census. Celebrities are denouncing veganism en masse. The market for plant-based gruel's fallen off a cliff. It's increasingly likely that the rest of the world agrees with me, which is often what happens with issues. Infamous activist Tash Peterson, better known as V-Gan Booty.
Yeah, again, the little jabs, like the gruel, plant-based gruel, like he had to pretend that the vegan, like the plant-based Greg sausage roll was disgusting. He had to pretend. Like, gruel, what do you mean? We live in 2023. You live in the UK, you ding-dong. We have a shit ton of plant-based options. We are spoilt for choice, and you still want to cope and talk about gruel. The amount of coping, oh my God, it's endless.
It's on a mission to change people's minds by all means.
Yeah, peanut butter sandwiches are gruel, jam sandwiches, gruel, potatoes, gruel, yeah, chips, you know, crisps, all of that gruel. You know, like tofu, definitely gruel to Piers. Like, my God, like cakes, gruel, hot dogs, burgers, pizzas, all these plant-based options, all gruel. Yeah, that's a good one.
Necessary. So is veganism here to stay, or as dead as a steak on my plate later this evening? I'm joined by V-Gan Booty, Tash Peterson, and Outkick host and Fox commentator.
Fucking look at her. She hates him. So, if you better hope I never get invited onto one of these things, because that would be my face. You fucking... you know what? Hold up. I'm making this big. I need that. Hang on, you're not seeing. I'm snipping this. Yes. No way. Oh fuck. Oh, that is wonderful. Okay. That is excellent. Okay, let's carry on.
Tommy Larian. All right. Would you go by the name Vegan or V-Gan, Miss Booty, or what?
Tash Peterson is fine.
Wait, Tommy Laren? Oh my god, is that who I think it is?
Tash.
Yes.
Veganism's going out of fashion. Meatless Farm announced their ending production. Beyond Meat shares crashed 95%. Most vegan companies in this country, lack of consumer demand now. I think people have got a bit fed up with it. I think one of the reasons is they're fed up with being shouted at. You're one of these people that runs into restaurants and plays, sounds from screaming animals in abattoirs and so on. I know you care passionately about it. I think it's very off-putting. It's a bit like the Just Stop Oil protesters doing a lot of their stuff. It just annoys people. It has the opposite effect to what you hope.
No, I don't think so at all. I think it brings more...
So, yeah. What's the argument for that? Yeah, like, yes, it annoys people, but we have things like in psychology, like the sleeper effect. Like, firstly, these things that piss you off, they really get in your head and they have an effect on you later. Who's to say it's not actually having a massive impact? Please.
Attention to the animal holocaust. Animals are subjected to rape, torture, enslavement, abuse and murder, and I'm bringing light to that, and I'm seeing
Why would you use the word...
Okay,
why use the word Holocaust? Holocaust is the mass extermination of more than 6 million Jewish people by Adolf Hitler.
See, it's funny because he's going to talk about how this is like erasing or offensive or something like that, but unfortunately there have been so many Holocausts. It's not just that one is the Holocaust. That's the one that we know. But unfortunately, there's been more than one Holocaust. So any comment you're going to make right now?
From the Nazis.
Well, that is one Holocaust in history.
Why would you avoid? People know that as the Holocaust.
Yes. But unfortunately, there have been many more than just one Holocaust.
You use that kind of very emotive language, knowing it would offend a lot of people.
Well, it would offend a lot of people who would know of other Holocausts that have happened that you've only just noted the Holocaust, that just the one. That would offend a lot of people. Oh, Piers Morgan, who gets really upset about social justice warriors who get offended. Oh, how would you? Oh, you've used an offensive word. Fuck me.
Just a factual statement. If you look at the definition of a Holocaust, it is slaughter or destruction on a mass scale.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've started to really fancy vegan booty, okay? I didn't before. Now I do. Okay, now I'm a vegan booty simp. This happened. Damn it, we lesbians, we see a woman. Eventually it's going to happen.
Multiple Holocausts have occurred throughout human history, and non-human animals can be subjected to the same atrocities that humans can. In fact, it's the largest Holocaust in history, with 3 trillion individuals brutally murdered every year for human food consumption.
All right, Tommy, you're from a ranching family. I don't know about you. I don't mind people being vegan. You don't...
Tommy Loren, I know. Isn't she some like cringe conservative? I don't want to apply any positions or any claims that she's made, but I swear she's like this cringe conservative who I've heard say some real bad things. Oh, I can't remember. I wish I could.
Don't want to eat meat, it's absolutely fine. And I get some of the reasons why they don't want to, personal choice, they care about animals and so on. Although I would point out animals eat a lot of animals, just for the record, naturally.
Yeah, animals also commit infanticide and kill within their own species. Why are you pointing that out? Is that justification for me to commit infanticide and kill you? Ding dong. Can we get some bells in the chat? Holy fuck.
What do you feel about this whole vegan debate? Are we getting bored with it? It seems to me
we are getting bored because your arguments are just so fucking weak. We have Tristan just being a ding dong. We have you being a ding dong constantly and actually thinking you're right. It's just cringe. We are getting bored, but nobody's come in my inbox to want to talk to me. That Kai from a couple of weeks ago has sent me an email, but I don't think it's it's not in context of today. So nobody who's been coping in the chat today has emailed me, by the way. Sad, isn't it?
All the sales in the UK and stuff, it's kind of going out of fashion. Like, it was a fad for a lot of people. They've gone back to munching meat.
What do you mean, like, going out of fashion? I mean, maybe the whole plant-based shit's gone out of fashion, and thank God, because veganism isn't a diet. Veganism is a philosophy that considers the negative rights of other species of animal. So if it has to go out of fashion because people were just seeing it as some sort of diet, then fair one, if that's what we need to do for now, just so that we can just hone in that it goes beyond what you put in your mouth or who you put in your mouth. Unfortunately, we exploit animals and violate their negative rights for many different purposes.
Well, veganism is an ethic.
I'm asking Tommy, sorry.
Yeah, I think a lot of people realize that it wasn't, in fact, the healthier choice, because when they choose this Beyond Meat or these other substitutes, it's actually just packed with different fillers. So it's not.
Wait, I'm pretty sure they've actually done like the comparison and found like Beyond, Impossible, all these other ones are actually healthier than the flesh counterpart of a burger. But who the fuck's eating a burger for health? Burgers aren't good for you. Who the fuck is sitting there and going, I'm eating a burger because it's healthy? No, you eat because it tastes bloody good, don't you? Oh God, already she's opened her mouth and some stupid shit's come out. Oh my God. Super chat. Ex-vegan phenomenon due to health priority and infatuation with nice vegan activists like Ed. Vegan booties activism is lasting like yours. Oh. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Salad's in the chat. Thank you.
Actually this cleaner option like a lot of people thought at the onset of the whole vegan craze. But I gotta tell you, speaking of...
Who the fuck's eating a burger for the... see, they can't have an honest conversation, can they? They can't just lay the position out. Okay, have you noticed, like, vegans will begin the position with, okay, so here's actually the position. Instead of doing all this shit, what's that got to do with anything? Like...
The animal holocaust.
Oh, because they realized that, like, a burger would, like, it was, like, actually not that healthy. It's like they thought beforehand that it was actually healthy. These fucking stupid fucking vegans. They literally thought that a burger would be healthy, and then they were like, oh my God, it's not. Oh my God. Oh my God. And that is why we've seen veganism decline. Right, thank you. That was really like a helpful take. Thank you. Please shower me with your wisdom.
Which I think is a ridiculous thing to say. I'm from a ranching family. I'm from a ranching state. There's nobody that cares more for their animals than those in the ranching and farming communities. Now,
oh my God, that's so true. That is why I support Elwood organic dog meat. Okay. I support Elwood's organic dog meat because, you know, they've been making delicious dog meat since 1981. Like, if you think about it, we have canines and, like, you know, dogs are literally, like, called canines, and it's organic, and they have, see this dog here, okay? Yes, they're no longer with us because they had one bad day and they were harvested, okay? But look, free range, local, organic, fresh, never frozen, free from antibiotics, sustainably raised. They were humanely slaughtered. And don't forget, they were loved. They were treated like family before that one bad day. Nobody cares about dogs more than these guys do. I tell you right now, because obviously it's caring to take someone's life away from them. Definitely. Fuck me. You are daft. Oh my God. Your brain is smooth. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, your brain is smooth. Oh, she's daft. Oh, that's cute.
I'm against factory ranching and farming.
Why?
Farming as well, by the way. I think that that's atrocious.
Why is that atrocious? Why is that atrocious? I mean, if someone matters so little that you can stab them for a burger, then why would that be atrocious? In fact, it's more efficient than your shitty ranch. So, big L. Okay.
I'm an animal lover.
Fuck me, bro. Beautiful. It just gets tastier. I just love the taste, you know. I just absolutely love it. Do some shorts with your Midwest accent. I'm an animal lover. Salad. That's why I kill them. Oh my God. Care is a verb, not an idea. Same with love. Yeah, that's people like using these words and they seem to have no fucking idea what they mean. It's her hair looks fake. Yeah, just like every fucking word that's coming out of her mouth. I love my animals so much. That's why I send them to slaughter. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sarah, don't be sarcastic, okay? That's my job. And you can't be sarcastic until you come on and debate me, okay? Don't do that. You little sassy. Can we get some salads in the chat? Thank you so much to a vegan fascist again for your super chats. Thank you. We've had a couple of people who have just repeat super chat offended. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. And by the way, I am a super chat lover. That's why anyone who super chats, I kill for a burger. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
As somebody who comes from a ranching family, I can tell you that ranchers and farmers care for their livestock dearly. Yes, it does at the end of the day turn into a product for human consumption, but that doesn't mean that it is always inhumane, that it's always disgusting.
Oh, exactly. One bad day. Yes, we do kill them. Yes, that does happen. Like, oh my God. But like, we love them. So shut up.
Saying that it's this animal holocaust or genocide, as your guest was referring to it as. It's also really annoying to me when people try to say that animals are causing climate change. I mean, if you don't want to eat...
I mean, animals aren't actually causing the climate change. We're causing a greater issue with climate change through selectively breeding these animals. We're not trying to pin the blame on the animals. It's not their fault they're being artificially inseminated and bred into existence in perpetuity and then slaughtered. It's not their fault. It's our fault. That's our fault. So, no.
Animals because you love animals, or you have a health reason that prevents you from eating animals, that's fine. But this whole environmental craze that we need to get rid of animals because they're causing climate change, that's also a step.
Why are we talking about animal environment? See, no fucker knows what veganism is, do they? It's just depressing. It's just honestly like none of these people know what it is, and they come here and debate it. They have no idea what the fuck it is. Yeah, the climate change denial is sneaking in now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tommy Loren. Now, I might be wrong. I might be conflating her with another conservative, but I'm pretty sure she's a climate change denier. Pretty sure, but she might not be. She might not be. Don't hold me to that.
Too far, and part of the reason why this whole vegan craze is...
Yeah, look how he lets her talk for ages with no interference. Yeah. Again, if you're going to be in charge of these TVs and you want to actually have good conversations, then you should be giving that equal time. There should be a timer. But
is going out the window.
Yeah, and Bear Grylls said recently, I was a vegan quite a few years. He said...
Why is he bringing up Bear Grylls again? As if this matters. As if a shitty little anecdote is going to help anything. Why? Why are you doing this?
I thought it was good for the environment. I thought it was good for my health. And through time and experience and knowledge and study, I realised I was wrong on both counts. It was bad for the environment, bad for his health.
He was never a vegan in the first place.
Veganism
is an ethical view against animal abuse and murder. If you're against animal abuse...
Oh, he wrote a cookbook, guys. Oh, you're a tit, bro. You're actually a tit.
Abuse and murder, you never contributed to it again.
He wrote a vegan cookbook.
It wasn't actually a vegan cookbook. It contained animal abuse and
so you're
murder
saying
products.
Bear Grylls was a fake vegan?
Wait, did it have animal products in it? That's even funnier.
He never was a vegan.
He was a vegan?
No, absolutely.
You're saying he's a liar. He's not a liar.
So wait, the cookbook wasn't even vegan? What animal products did it have in it? Wait, he had recipes for corpses?
No, well, I've looked at the cookbook.
You may not have
animal products.
You may not have liked the fact that he went back to eating meat, but he was a vegan for quite a while.
Well, people go by that label all the time, but if they actually truly hold their ethical view against animal abuse and murder, then they would never turn back on veganism.
You know, Tommy, over here,
yeah, like if you're against homophobia, you don't suddenly become homophobic again and not have people think, did you understand the position? Like, were you anti-homophobic? I don't know. Like, Joey looked up his cookbook after he had Piers debate, and it straight up had dead animals in it.
railed against vegan sausage rolls. I didn't like the way they appropriated the language of meat products.
Oh my God, he's such a troll, bro.
I don't think vegan companies should be allowed to use words like sausage rolls or...
Why? Why not? You can call a product made from dead pig a hot dog. You can call a product made from dead pig toad in the hole. You can call peanut butter, which isn't butter, you can call it butter, peanut butter. Why are you coping? You don't have a problem with any of these things. Troll confirmed.
Steaks, because that's meat.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, steak is actually like the body part of a corpse. But you get to call it meat, you get to call it steak, you get to call it these things. You get to call cow beef, you get to call all this shit, you get to use these euphemisms, and then you cry when a vegan makes a fucking sausage roll. Yikes.
And they're filled with soy and fillers and other disgusting things that you actually don't want to put into your body.
Why is it okay to feed to the animals? And these soy products are in animal products as well. Are you telling me you don't consume soy? What's wrong with... hang on, what is wrong with soy anyway?
And meat tastes good. That's why...
Did you see the coping? Wait, firstly, hang on. What's the argument that you want to avoid soy? She just made a claim. She won't even say anything about it. And hang on.
Body. And meat tastes good. That's...
You fucking ding dong. Oh, that's perfect. End of conversation. Meat tastes good.
Why all of these fake meat companies try to make it taste like meat. It never actually comes to fruition because it still tastes like crap. And I would also point out during...
Oh, you're coping. Oh, it's weird because people have had these comparisons and people have like said it tastes like these things. It's weird, like people end up getting tricked. Like there's literally a show where there was a vegan sausage and the sausage expert came on and he couldn't tell the difference. In fact, he voted that the vegan one was the meaty one. Oh.
COVID, when we were having shortages in the grocery store, if you looked for meat, it was sometimes hard to find, at least here in the US. But that Beyond Meat crap, that was always available because people don't want it.
Well, it's not that they don't want it, it's that there's less people consuming these products because the majority of the world isn't vegan. And some people are flexitarian, some people are vegetarian, but it seems the majority of people consume animal products. So of course... Oh, you came on with like no like argument. And why are you talking about COVID? Like we talk about is veganism dead, right? Like right now I'm guessing. But now you talk about COVID a couple of years ago.
Consumers are deciding that they want...
But yeah, that's not even true. Yeah, see, that was my mistake. I don't even know if I should take that to be the truth because... I mean, in my like personal experience, I found it difficult to find food for myself, and I'm buying the vegan products. So my reality, my anecdotal experience doesn't align with that, but I'm not going to use that and apply that to what actually happened during that time. But yeah, she's just chucking shit at the wall, hoping something sticks. That's what's happening right now.
Maybe an organic option, maybe a free range.
Truly, dooley. Most people don't actually exercise. And there are people who kind of do, but like because there's not many people who do, that just tells you exercise is bad for you and like nobody wants it and nobody needs it, and actually it's better if you don't. Like, so take that
option, but people still want to eat meat, and you can eat meat and respect animals at the same time. It can be done. It's been done since the dawn of time.
You can hit women and respect them at the same time. You can love dogs and kill them at the same time. You can respect queer people while being homophobic. It's been done since, like, the dawn of time. Because I said so. Because I fucking said so, okay? Don't question me.
We are beyond meat now. We're going back to munching meat. I love meat. I won't be persuaded otherwise. And I think there are better tactics than running into restaurants and playing noises of screaming animals. Personally. Thank you for coming on the programme. Tash, and thank you to Tommy as always.
Of course, yeah, Tash wasn't able to have the final word there. Amazing.
Is it better? Okay, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, no, I wasn't nervous like at all. I didn't feel nervous because I mean, when I went on Piers Morgan, I was a little bit nervous because I thought, oh, he's going to ambush me, he's going to corner me, he's got set these traps for me, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, let's take the anti-vegans' advice on these tactics, of course. All right, I'm gonna have to go, but thank you so much to everybody who is here. I want to say a special thank you to A Vegan Fascist. I want to say thank you to Linda Does Stuff for subscribing. Thank you to Tofu Vabien for your tips. Thank you to Casey Williams for subscribing. Thank you to Weenie. We've had a few subscribers. Thank you to Vegan Zens. Thank you to Lucas for your multiple tips. And thank you to Bev for your super chat. Have I missed anybody else? Oh, by the way, yeah, if you want to become a patron or a channel member, you can get access to live streams after the fact, but I will be keeping this live stream up. So please smash like and leave a comment down below to help the algorithm. Yeah, basically, final thoughts. I don't think Tristan was being honest, or he just really, he did say at the start he hadn't really like thought this through, and I mean that was quite clear. Please do me a favor and check out my Etsy store. I've got some new prints. If anyone fancies supporting my channel that way and getting something out of it, then yeah, check out those prints. We're going to be bringing out a new print every month, so they'll, you know, keep an eye on that. So if you favorite the store, then you can see things as they're coming through. Please also, I have a third channel. If you don't know, I had a shorts video over there. It's got 8k views. It ended up doing the bit of the rounds, and there's some people coping in the chat, so if you want to go over there and subscribe, that would be really appreciated. I'm just putting all the links, okay? I also do have a Twitch if you want to. There were people crying about me gaming, so I've just decided that I'm going to do my gaming over on Twitch. So if you want to see me play Spider-Man, I'm going to play God of War Ragnarok, stuff like that. Yeah, that would be base for you to come on over. So please check out all that stuff and make sure that you follow me on my other social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Threads, I'm on, you know, all of these places, preaching the vegan gospel. You know how it is. But yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully some of the people coping in the chat today will email me so that we can set up a debate. Sadly, none of them have still, but I'm sure we'll set one of those up soon. I do hope you're well. Thank you.
My family joined a cult.
For following over on Twitch there. Say that worked. Someone used the link. But yeah, thank you so much. I do hope you're well. Until next time, salads. I will see you soon. Goodbye.